Thank you very much, Michael. The Clare goalkeeper is Andrew Fahey from Whitegate. This is the 26-year-old's second championship season as the Banner County's #1. Shane O'Murray's return to top form is important, while the good news for Clare is that David McInerney has fully recovered from injury. The team captain is Patrick O'Connor from Tubber, and he will play cornerback. David Fitzgerald from Eineck and Lamona is a very strong hurler, while Conor Cleary's performance at centre-back is crucial. Returning to the team after injury will be Oisín O'Brien. Clonlara's Colm Galvin is a sweet hurler in the middle of the field, but he has a new partner today in Carl Malone, a native of Ennistimon in North Clare, who plays his club hurling with 6 Mile Bridge. If this hurler finds his form, then Clare will pose a serious challenge to Cork. It's Ballier's Tony Kelly. Wearing number 11 will be the very talented Podge Collins, while completing the half-forward line is John Conlon. Cork will be very wary of this man. He scored 3-3 in the All-Ireland final 4 years ago. It's Shane O'Donnell. Today he's joined by Aaron Shanahan from Wolf Tones of Shannon, who'll play at full forward. At top of the left, it's Cratlow's Conor McGrath. Twice an All-Star in 2012 and 2013, Anthony Nash from Kanturk is still one of the best goalkeepers in the country. He's been in top form. The Cork captain, Stephen McDonnell, is a proud Glen Rovers man as he leads his county into this Munster final, standing beside Damien Cahalane and the tight marking Colm Spillane. Christopher Joyce has returned from a cruciate injury last year to be back performing better than ever. Mark Ellis has blossomed into a fine centre-back, while the sensation of the Munster Hurling Championship so far this season has to be 19-year-old Mark Coleman. Yall's Bill Cooper has really stepped up to the challenge by providing strong leadership, while Charleville's Dara Fitzgibbon has been outstanding in his first 2 championship matches in this 19-year-old's career. Seamus Harnedy has been moving interestingly from full forward to wing forward. Conor Lahan is quite simply a brilliant hurler and leads the attack, while another 19-year-old Shane Kingston from Douglas will operate on the left wing. Wearing number 13 for this Munster final is the very skillful Alan Cadigan. Patrick Horgan has clearly found his form once again and will be a major source of concern to Clare. And completing the starting 15 will be Luke Meade from Newcestown. Well, 4 years ago, Cork and Clare met in the All-Ireland final, but time has brought many changes. Kieran Kingston was the selector in 2013 with Jimmy Barry Murphy. Today he's the Cork manager, while Clare also have a new management, a joint management team of Donald Maloney and Jerry O'Connor. They're the teams. Let's go back to the studio and Michael.
Those are the teams. Marty has given us the teams, but in actual fact there are 3 Cork players that you want to highlight.
Yeah, to me Anthony Nash is a terrible big bear on the Cork team. He's like a conductor of the orchestra. His puck-outs are brilliant. He's able to hit space, and the boys are able to move into space and speed. Here's Conor Lahan having a great season. Lovely little flick. Like, he's finding people to hold. Now the opposition know what's coming. Yeah, look at this. On the turn, takes it right or left. This guy is just, look at this, again, little flicks along. He's not that big, but he's winning every ball in the puck-outs, and usually left, right, bang them over the bar. And like, he's doing that consistently. He's a big operator. Again, you're going to see this high ball coming here. I don't know how he caught this turn. Like, that is absolutely brilliant. Up on his left side this time and flick it over the wrist again. Just poetry in motion when he gets in song. He's always threatened to be like this, but never fully delivered. But this year seems to be a big year for him. Now, here's Harnedy. This guy loves to have a go at goal. Head down, going for goal here now. But Keith brings off great saves. Like, he kept Walton the game in the first half. But this guy, again, was good 2 or 3 years ago, coming back to his form again, very strong on the ball, has a little look around here, takes his man on. This is Pat Howard, just let his hurdle back. Harnedy again, he's going to try to make a goal here. Another great save. Again, you know, like, going for goal, they're placing the ball, they're going for the jugular, and that's what's kind of driving on. But to me, like, the answer to the whole lot is how Clare are going to deal with Anthony Nash's puck out. That'll be the big thing as far as I'm concerned.
Anthony Nash is a fine goalkeeper. We all know that, but you reckon Clare need to beat him today a couple of times?
Yeah, I think it's very important. I think Clare, like, I think they have a really, really strong full forward line. You know, a full forward line and get goals. Here's Podge, you know, I expect he'll be given a licence to roam Thurles again today. That's probably where he plays best. But this is in the league semi-final against Kilkenny last year. And Conor McGrath, most players when they get that ball, they're thinking point. But Conor McGrath's immediate instinct is, I'm going in. You know, John Conor was at the far side, but he was thinking goal. And again, watch him attack here. This is in the league match. Clare are very, very strong going forward. Shane O'Donnell is coming there. Players ready to work off the shoulder. In comes Tony Kelly. Tony Kelly, I expect to be in a central position here today. I think it's very, very important for them. Anthony Nash made some top-class saves that night in the league. But again, Podge Collins finished it. And here's Jason McCarthy again. You know, you'll see Aaron Shannon coming into. Great catch there by Cormac. Look at the pace they attack at. Taking on the Kilkenny defence. Aaron Shannon moves one side and bangs it into the back of the net. I guess it's really important to remember, like, they got 5 goals in the All-Ireland final in 2013, that replay. Yeah. You know, I think they have a real chance of getting more goals today. And, you know, roll it on then to the championship this year. And I think this really sums up Shane O'Donnell for me. Most players that get this, they're thinking point. Right there, they're thinking, I'll bang this ball over the bar. But Shane different. He wants to take on his man, he wants to get inside, he wants to raise the green flag. He did, and he sent a massive message that Clare were serious about this championship, because go back to last year, it was 17 points they got in one match, 19 points in another, 3 goals the last day. If they get 3 goals today, they're going to be difficult to beat.
They will, but the thing about it is, from Cork's perspective, Henry, the day we were watching them here against Tipperary, everybody knows Cork have good forwards, and they said if they get a chance that they will do well and whatever. But it was the Cork defence that I think impressed most of us on that day.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the win of the game between the two defence, because in the All-Ireland a few years ago it was very open and Clare just scored more, but I think the Cork defence has improved, and that's why we're seeing. And I suppose to understand where they are today, we need to look back a bit. A couple of years ago here in the qualifier, Jonathan Glynn just waltzes through the Cork defence. No one touches him, no one physicality, no working as a unit together. Here we are in the championship. 6 defenders. Look at the closeness they are to the Tipperary forwards. Colm Spillane, one of the new lads in, wins the ball. Very tight unit again. Here's Colm Spillane, but as well as that, they're working back. Shane Kingston, Bill Cooper, working as a unit. Marty said in his piece, Mark Coleman, the find of the year this year. Look at him. He's doing the simple things first, right, defending. Again, Mark Ellis, very tight. Mark Coleman comes out, and what they are doing better this year is that they're looking to find a man. Look at this, lad, 19 years of age, head up, to hold him, head up, waiting, no panic, over, switches the play. And that's Cork of old. We saw him play sweeper last year. It's not Cork. That's Cork hurling. And this has been the most improved player in the Cork team, is Damien Callahan. We remember his father playing football. Yeah. Tight, tigerish, and that's what we're seeing. He's doing the simple thing. And look at him here. He spots the danger. It might look simple, but he's working together and working for the benefit of the team. And that's why they've done so much. And like you have Dermot O'Sullivan and Pat Hartnett on Kieran Kingston's backroom team, they've definitely improved their defending. And I think whichever team defends best today will probably win this game.
I know all these players, Liam, are used to playing in front of big crowds, but there's a real buzz around Semple Stadium today ahead of this match, and of course because they haven't met for a while.
Yeah, of course there is. There's a fantastic buzz. You know, for Clare, they haven't been on Munster final day since 2008. They didn't win Munster since 1998. So they're here. They've had a long, long break. And if I was Clare, if I was the managers of Clare today, I'd be thinking, could I get a goal or two earlier on? The thing that might unhinge this Cork team is if they went 4 or 5 points down, just to put them on the back foot, because you'd silence the crowd. There's a huge Cork crowd. So I think the first 10 minutes here is going to be massive. But you would have to say, on unknown form to date, that Cork are the form team. But in Munster finals, sometimes form can go out the window.
This is the thing, sir, that with the Cork crowd, I mean, they both come here to support their teams today, but the Cork, there's a buzz going on. We saw it actually there a week or two ago in the Munster, in the minor match. Yeah. You know, there was a crowd most senior teams would be proud to have.
There was over 8,000. Couldn't believe it. Liam was saying down at the match, like Tip, we looked at 1,000. That's been usual, 1,000 of them from Tip. All Cork. Again here today, all Cork. Now Clare here as well. But there's a kind of a roll-on effect. The feel that an old fella said to me down there today, very funny, the miners are hammering Clare, very good team. He said, it's like old times, law. Yeah. And you know, and I had to laugh. But that's the feeling that's down there. But the matchups are going to be very interesting. Like Oisin O'Brien's picked again today, back from injury, very tight marker. He's going to pick up a special guy. You'll probably find it could be, it could be Harney, it could be Lehan. You're going to find Morey, very, very pacey. Now, they've picked Tony Kelly wing forward. I think, as Liam said, he'll probably be centre field, and they'll shove Malone in wing forward. And Podge Collins will be given the licence. He'll pick centre, which will find them back around the half-back line, come and pop ball, more like football than hurling. But they are dangerous for goals. Now, as Henry said, Cork's backs have improved, and the big thing, have they improved enough? If Cork can start well and get in the flow, but I have a feeling like Clare will be able to stop them. Like if you give the Cork forwards room to dance, they will dance. But Clare will be able to not to give them that room and get in their faces early on. It's going to be a great game. I'm really looking forward to it. Like, you know,
another man I'm sure that's looking forward to it. He's down pitch side. That is Donal O'Grady, of course. Donal, you have been here as a player, as a manager. You've seen it all. What are you going to see today?
Well, the first thing I'd say, Michael, is that normally Cork like to play against the breeze in the first half and then play into the town end, which is full of Cork supporters. They've lost the toss, and Clare will be playing against the wind, which I think will suit them, because both sets of forwards like the accurate ball going into them, short accurate ball, and whoever supplies their inside line best, I think, will win this game. Incidentally, I think Shane O'More is probably going to play in the half back line for Clare, maybe pick up Shane Kingston, and Oisin O'Brien will probably drop back on Cadogan to snuff out his runs. But all to play for here, Michael. Great atmosphere down here, and really we'll say Cork need to be scoring from out the field, and how because they're playing with the wind, how that will affect them, how that will affect their short game. Sometimes with the wind you're tempted to hit the ball long. I don't think that will suit the Cork forwards. So an intriguing match, an intriguing contest here, and I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to the wire.
Stay calm now down on the touchline down there. Don't be like Dan the Man last night. Henry Shefflin, what's your pick?
Well, I think first of all, I think it's a wonderful occasion. There's a real buzz about the hurling championship, and it's brilliant to be here today. And the Cork supporters are back. I think we've seen the underdogs win the previous match in the football, same colours as Clare. I think, but I'm just looking forward to Conor Lehan, Patrick Horgan, Tony Kelly, Conor McGrath. They are the talisman. Whichever one of those 4 players really steps up and grabs this game by the scruff of the leg, I think. But I'm tipping Clare to do it.
Clare for you, Liam?
Yeah, look, an all-known form coming in today. I mean, Clare weren't near as impressive as Cork in the semi-final. Cork have had 2 matches under their belt. For a lot of these players, it's their first Munster final, and who adapts best to the conditions and to the whole atmosphere, because it's a big deal being out here to the packed house. But, I've been really impressed by Cork today. I think, Gary Keegan's working with him in the background. I think they'll have enough fun today, but I expect a really, really tight game.
Answer.
Yeah, it'd be interesting, Mike, to see how the new fellas of Cork, they have a complete left, all up along the left spine and the left attack, all new fellas, So it'd be interesting how they perform. Just to the sneaky feeling that if Cork get moving, they might edge it, but it's going to be a thriller, and again, as Henry says,
I hope so.
We're looking at the best. It's great to be here.
It certainly is. And in the commentary box, watching the best for this 2017 Munster hurling final, Marty Morrissey and Brendan Cummins.
Thank you very much, Michael. The wait is over. The day has finally arrived. July 9th, 2017, Munster hurling final day. And for this man, Fergal Horgan from Knockdevilla Kickham's in Dundrum here in County Tipperary, it's his very first Munster final. As we pause on this very special day for our national anthem. What is it that brings over 55,000 people on the second Sunday in July to this iconic stadium in Thurles to watch 30 hurlers? 30 magnificent warriors to be crowned champions of the province of Munster. Brendan Cummins is with me. He's won Munster medals himself. Quick prediction, Brendan.
I think Cork with the momentum they have, Marty, but it's all about who settles in here quick.
And away we go. The Munster hurling final 2017 is underway. Clare won the toss and decided to play against the breeze in the opening half. So playing from right to left as we look at it. And coming forward is the Cork captain, Stephen MacDonald, dropping it into the Cork full forward line. Then Rovers man to Douglas man. Stephen MacDonald to Alan Cadigan. And the Cork men are up and running in Semple Stadium.
Yeah, Cork are utilising that pace they have inside again. Cadigan made the run, gave the little point, found himself in acres of space, and he's a man completely on form, as you saw in his last 2 championship matches. He'll pick them off all day.
Taking the puck out is Andrew Fahey.
This is going to be an interesting aspect to the game today, Marty. Who can win that initial possession and get into the full forward line, and Clare going long early on.
A magnificent, truly magnificent, almost emotional atmosphere around Semple Stadium. Place has been packed since early morning. Here comes David Fitzgerald. Eineke Lamona man driving this to the right and wide. First opportunity taken by Cork, first opportunity by Clare, sent to the wrong side of the post.
Yeah, but Clare have brought Aaron Shanahan out under that puck out. He had a fantastic catch. It's just a misfortune for the Clare wing back to the wide, but here was short again with Cork.
It's funny that all 3 Cork defenders in the full back line were available for the short puck out as Clare retreated almost into their own half of the field. Alan Cadigan winning his second ball. Lovely skill, lovely stick work. Coming through the middle is Conor Lehan, stopped on this occasion by David McInerney, who lays it off to the far side. We're waiting for it is Colm Galvin. Colm Galvin sending it deep into Conor McGrath. Right beside him is Colm Spillane. McGrath looking around to see who's available. The crossfield ball is a beauty. Farah's centre half forward, Patch Collins trying to get inside the cover. Good work by Christopher Joyce, but Joyce fouls and it's a free end for Clare. Wonderful, wonderful vision to spot the fact that Podge was available.
It was a great square ball there, and you can see that the Cork defence have when Podge stands you up and he squares you up and he picks a shoulder, there's nothing really you can do, only pull him back. Interesting there as well, Marty, the Clare half forward line had come into their half back line, but the Clare line had stayed inside, so it's obviously applied. They're going to try play it over that Cork half back line and get inside to their danger men.
Taking the first free of the afternoon is Tony Kelly. Hurler of the Year and Young Hurler of the Year, now 4 years ago. Lifts and strikes this easily over the crossbar. Took Clare a little while to settle. Took him 2 minutes, almost 45 seconds to score. Some wonderful fielding already seen here in Semple Stadium. Can Cork go for the short puck out? Long ball. And away goes Seamus Harnedy. Seamus Harnedy on the turn. Sends that over the bar. Well, we thought initially that this might be a very tight, defence-orientated game, but so far it's been free-flowing.
It has, you know. I think Cork would have known that Clare were going to retreat back again. Harnedy made that diagonal run, and whether it's coming from Anthony Nash or one of his full back line, it's still the same old angle ball going in that sets up the Cork forwards.
Clare puck out, dropping just outside the Cork 45-metre line. Knocked down far as Cathal Malone. Malone driving it in. Good ball, and Anthony Nash decides to use the hurling. Flicks it, stops it out over the crossbar. Podge Collins was continuing on in Nash, but they get on with it, the two of them. Breaking ball becomes available. Coming across is Alan Cadigan again. Good work on this occasion by Oisin O'Brien, trying to gather it up. Clare are there in numbers, including Patrick O'Connor, the captain, trying to pick the ball off the ground, or at least trying to get into his hand was Cathal Malone. As Clare used the diagonal ball over towards Shane O'Donnell. Shane trying his best to keep it in, just succeeds with a nice touch of the ash. Down far Stephen McDonald, under pressure from O'Donnell ultimately, but still doesn't stop him from giving the pass away. Coming away with it is Colin Spillane. Spillane dropping it in. Alan Cadigan with Oisin O'Brien. This is going to be an interesting tussle. This occasion, Oisin O'Brien escorts the ball out over the end line and wide.
You know, Marty, it's a little bit dangerous game. Oisin O'Brien has good legs, all right, but he was isolated inside of Alan Cadigan. You see the two of them wrestling. The ball was too far outside, but I think Don Logue down the line be a small bit anxious to have 50-60 yards of space around someone like Alan Cadigan one-on-one with one of his defenders.
And the rumour was that Oisin O'Brien was going to mark Conor Lahan. Instead, he's picked up Alan Cadigan, and Conor Cleary remains on Conor Lahan. Interesting. Coming into the middle, Shane Kingston giving the pass inside as Tony Kelly lashes this high, but very much to the right and wide. Interesting choice when we just get a moment to breathe here, Brendan, that Clare won the toss and decided to play against the breeze, and it's pretty strong. Puck out comes down into the Cork half of the Clare half of the field. Good work here by Conor Lahan under a bit of pressure. There was efforts to stop him by John Conlon. Seemed to put him under enough pressure to force him to send it wide.
David, I think Donal O'Grady touched on that there on the touchline. It is a little bit harder the way Cork's style of play is, like, you know, not to be tempted to go long. And you see there Conor Lahan having that pop from the sideline, hoping the breeze might get it over the bar.
Podge Collins battling with Mark Ellis. Good work by Luke Meade, who's named at top of the left but is operating at wing forward. The linesman has his flag up. The sliotar seems to go out over the sideline. David Fitzgerald is protesting, but the linesman is adamant, so it's a sideline ball for Cork. This is going to be taken by Christopher Joyce. Fresh air by Christie, batted away by David Fitzgerald. Podge Collins comes in, sneaks, puts the head down and skips away, being chased by Bill Cooper. Ball into space for Conor McGrath, chasing after him as Colin Spillane. McGrath takes two to try and stop him. Crossfield ball is a good one, but it carries a little bit too much pace. Cathal Malone did well to control it. Comes in with a hefty challenge. There was Damien Callahan. Comes back outside for Shane O'Morey, and the 6 Mile Bridge man raises Clare's second white flag in this match. Corner back gets the second score, and wing forward gets the first.
Yeah, he did it against Limerick. Shane O'Morey, you know, he's very dangerous. Normally cornerbacks wouldn't have that kind of skill set, but he has in spades. Cathal Malone set him up very well.
Sides level for the second time. Again, it's the short puck out strategy from Cork. Clare are allowing those full back line to get the ball. Out comes Andrew Fahey, tries to get by Cadigan, doesn't start brother Harnedy it was, and didn't succeed, but Clare get the ball out eventually. David McInerney to Shane Amore, but the ball is going to carry too much pace. Sideline ball for Cork.
Again, Clare are going to have to be very precise coming out, even though there's a breeze there. They're playing a lot of bodies around that middle third of the pitch. They now have Conor McGrath and Aaron Shanahan inside in their full forward line. Most of the time they probably will only play with two in there.
Mark Coleman driving it into the middle. Good work on this occasion by Shane Amore. Luke Meade, effort is half blocked. Ball is available again. Working hard is Shane Kingston. So too is Luke Meade. Knocked away by Shane Amore. Sideline ball again for Cork.
Interesting as well, Marty, that Colm Galvin has sat back at the edge of his own D there as well. He appears to be playing like a sweeper system there, especially on the line ball. They know that how long Mark Coleman can cut these balls, so he's sitting very deep.
Mark Coleman, better sideline cut the second time. Oh, great hands by Patrick Horgan, trying to lay it back for Seamus Harnedy. Still Horgan, David McInerney chasing after him. Horgan takes the effort, and that is a superb effort. Brilliant point by Patrick Horgan.
Yeah, you can see Colm Galvin there. He wasn't sitting deep enough. The line ball was just that too far, and when a player on form again like Horgan gets that kind of room, he's going to score.
He really had to work so hard for it, but he did brilliantly. Podge Collins trying to knock it away, taking a little bit too much out of the slither. Hit a fair shoulder by Bill Cooper. No fancy stuff allowed in Semple Stadium on Munster hurling final day, which is fair enough. Bill Cooper is in there, so too is Luke Meade. Trying to gather it up is John Conlon. This ball is still bobbling around the place. Clare have the slither eventually. Good work here by John Conlon, trying to skip away from the challenges. Hits it the slither, and it's curling, but it's gone to the right and wide. That is Clare's third wide of the game.
It is, and that's exactly the way Clare want to play it. They'll bunch that middle third of the pitch and then try to break quickly like a counter-attack. They've closed down the long puck out.
Puck out from Anthony Nash. This time it's a really long one, deep into Clare half of the field. Comes first Conor Cleary, having received the pass from Carl Malone. This is Malone, native of Ennistimon in North Clare, plays his club hurling with 6 Mile Bridge. Deep into the pocket. Good defending, great defending in fact. Full marks to Colm Spillane. He's growing reputation at senior level. Ball is dropping down, it's 2 against 2. Picking it up is Cleary, Conor Cleary, laying it off for O'Brien. Oisin O'Brien is under pressure, but lays it off in turn, quickly. Space opening up for Tony Kelly. Drops it over to the far side, but carried a little bit too much strength on the actual hit, and it's a sideline ball for Cork.
Having a couple of wasted opportunities there for Clare. Tony Kelly of his quality should be putting that ball into Conor McGrath's hand and giving him an opportunity to take on his man. So Clare just need to settle down a little bit, even though just a point down, 10 minutes gone. And
Tony Kelly's performance, Brendan, is vital, because since Ballyea got to the All-Ireland Club final, his performances haven't been up to his usual high standard. But if he did sparkle, it certainly would give Clare a great chance here.
Yeah, it is. It's vital for Clare today that Tony steps up.
Gone back together, this is Patrick O'Connor. Conor Cleary drops it into the Clare half of the field, Cork half of the field I should say. Running onto it is Shane O'Donnell. Calling for it is Carl Malone. Malone has a chance and he kicks it. Ball comes back off. It's Podge Collins turning, and that is over the bar. Good score by Podge Collins, great shot by Carl Malone. And once again the sides are level in Semple Stadium, this time for the third occasion.
Anything good is happening for Clare at the moment. Colin Malone's at the heart of it, just off the outside of the post, but good composure there then by Podge just to get it over the bar. You can see here now Anthony Nash is delaying on the puck out. The options are closed down 80 yards from him.
Ball comes straight out for as Luke Meade sends it into the space. Chasing after it here is Alan Cadigan. Alan Cadigan, oh, he turned Oisin O'Brien. Cadigan, great skill, great stick work, and he hit it into the back of the net. Goal for Cork. Brilliant play by Alan Cadigan. He left the Clare defence for dead.
He did, but it all started composure up the other end. But Cadigan, little bounce to give himself that chance, hopped it in past Andrew Fahey in the goal. Just so he got in as close as he could, it bounced across him, but it all came from an Anthony Nash puck out. He was patient enough to pick out his winning runner, got it inside, and Cadigan, of course, when he gets in like that, he just slips it past the goalkeeper.
Wonderful score. Beautiful stick work. The wrist, fantastic. It's what you need in a corner forward, and Alan Cadigan supplies it every single time. Might have had a quiet game against Waterford, but certainly he's sparkled here in this Munster final.
Yeah, he's flying today.
David Fitzgerald takes the sideline cut. Back is Tony Kelly trying to scoop it up, skips away from the challenge. Leaves Dara Fitzgibbon chasing a shadow as Fitzgibbon recovers and tries to hook him, but Kelly is beginning to show signs that Tony Kelly has regained the form. That is a superb point.
It is, yeah, you know, swinging off his left there, you know, he didn't have an awful lot of room to hit it, and it was an important shot having, you know, skipped the one out over the line. And that's the kind of leadership Clare will need from that man.
Anthony Nash again goes down the middle. Colin Galvin was anticipating it, but Mark Ellis ends up with the sliotar. Looks around to see who's available. There's plenty of players, including cornerback Stephen McDonald, but instead he gives it to Spillane, who drops it into the space, and that ball has gone out over the end line and wide.
Again, though, I think Cork will be obviously happy with getting the goal, but inside they're getting one-on-one matchups with loads of grass around their forwards, and we see how dangerous they are when Cadigan got isolated, took on his man.
Puck out goes straight for his David Fitzgerald. Turn gives it to his colleague in the half-back line. That's Conor Cleary. Colm Spillane is winning most of those 50-50 balls in the corner. He's been very impressive so far. Anthony Nash comes off his goal line. Gives it back for Spillane. Good pressure by Clare. Ball is half blocked. Spillane is there again, and another block by Carl Malone. And you can see why Carl Malone got on the starting 15 instead of David Reedy. His form has been very good in training, and his work rate is really impressive.
It is. He's up and down the pitch there. See him twice. Great effort, great commitment. And as well, Shane O'Donnell again. That's what I like about Shane O'Donnell as well as a forward. His work rate is fantastic. But Malone there was just inspirational, and it's something Clare will need to get themselves back into this.
Sideline cut from Mark Coleman, and it's a beauty. Cleary unable to reach it, but gone back to gather it is Colm Galvin, who's playing that extra defender's role. I know some traditionalists don't like the phrase sweeper in the game of hurling, so we'll use both as that goes out over the sideline. And it's a sideline ball for Cork.
John Collins, a brave man there. He ran into the rock there in front of us. But it's something that you have to do when Mark Coleman is taking line balls. You have to sit somebody back. And in fairness, Clare are wise putting Galvin back there. He's tapped a little bit deeper that time, could affect the play more. We have a wrestling match, Marty.
A wrestling match over here between Oisin O'Brien and Alan. And I'm a little bit surprised, Brendan, and there might be early days that Oisin is still on Alan Cadigan. You can see they were tussling here and a bit of a...
It's Munster Championship hurling. In fairness, in the first 15 minutes or so of the game, Alan Cadigan, Harnedy, Lahan, they've all been running freely around Thurles. Nobody's put a hand on him, a block on him. So that's just a little reminder from Oisin saying, look, well, we're going to have to get a little bit more physical here, you know. And I'm sure Alan Cadigan's a tough nut as well. He'll keep making those runs. It'll be an interesting battle to see where it goes from here. Fergal Horgan has just used common sense and let the play move on.
In the first 15 minutes, Alan Cadigan has scored a goal and a point. Ominous signs from a Clare perspective. And worrying that Alan Cadigan, from their viewpoint, is on fire. Tony Kelly, unable to retain his position on the ground, was tripped. That's going to be a free just inside the Cork 65-metre line.
But that's exactly, Marty, what Tony Kelly gives you. When he's inside your half the field as a defender, you're worried, because once he breaks that middle third and gets the opposition 45, everyone else is behind him, so they've no choice but to drag him down. And it's good to see him back on the freeze today as well. It keeps him in touch in the game and keeps his rhythm going.
Captain of the under-21 team that won the All-Ireland in 2014, Tony Kelly, has already scored 2 points. This is very high, and the umpire is happy enough to raise the white flag for the third time. Clare have responded to that smashing goal by Alan Cadigan. Anthony Nash has 3 options in terms of his full backline. They're all available, but he goes long. He possibly should have gone short, as John Conlon easily latched onto this. Ball is back into space, but there's nobody in there. Anthony Nash gathers and gives it plenty of air, whacks it up. Coming across is Seamus Harnedy. David Fitzgerald knocks it back, Patrick O'Connor. Gives it into the middle. Calling for it was Colm Galvin. Galvin, just inside his own 45-metre line. Diagonal ball in for Conor McGrath. Can't control it. Hops over the sideline. Sideline ball again for Cork.
It's interesting, Marty. In general play, Clare are only playing with 2 half forwards and they're keeping their 3 full forwards inside. So it's a little bit of a twist. Before we were seeing 2 on the full forward line. But today, Clare are drifting their half forward line. Bunch that in front of their own half back line. And that's where you see some of the balls going out over the line.
Christopher Joyce again taking this sideline cut. Again misses it, surprisingly. Second occasion. Good work. Great work by Shane Amori. Gets a slap on the back from Donald Maloney. Says well done. Aaron Shanahan goes up for it. Good defending by Cork. Bill Cooper is available. He's really shown great leadership. He runs into a cul-de-sac of saffron and blue. Lays it off to Mark Ellis. Mark Ellis, the centre half back. There's plenty of air, but the ball has gone wide. Andrew Fahey wanted to take the short puck out. And referee Fergal Horgan is saying, no, you don't. Go back and do it again. David McInerney is the most obvious choice, right in front of the keeper. And passes it over towards his captain, Patrick O'Connor. He used a hand pass to get for his midfield. As the ball is dropping in, Aaron Shanahan is underneath. Oh, great catch. Aaron Shanahan lays up, tries to lay it off. Great plop down by the Cork defence. Still Aaron Shanahan. He looks for somebody outside. Can't control it on the stick. In comes that man, Shane O'Donnell, latching on. He's inside the rectangle. The referee has blown his whistle and he's given a penalty. He gets one sniff of a slither inside the large rectangle and he causes all sorts of problems.
He does. He's a different kind of an animal in there. When he gets it, Aaron Shannon was going sideways. You can see him taking off him, but watch O'Donnell when he gets it. He sees not knowing that black spot. I'm heading straight for it. Stop me if you like. Cork defence pulled him back. Now Tony Kelly. We saw him against Limerick, last one wide. Anthony Nash is in fantastic form, Marty. So you can see there Shane O'Donnell again. They'd no choice but to pull him back. Here we go.
A crucial moment. 19 minutes and 13 seconds. Tony Kelly against Anthony Nash. And it's driven over the bar. Well over the bar.
Yeah, it's a chance slipped by there. You know, Nash, in fairness, made a decision like a soccer goal. He was going to pick a side. And Tony Kelly hands on head again. You know, confidence isn't quite there yet, but, you know, at least Cork have gotten a point out of it. Clare.
To take the paint off the crossbars. We look at the replay. Meanwhile, we come back into the action. Ocean O'Brien slips. Seamus Harnedy is available. Gives it back inside. Coming through the middle is Darragh Fitzgibbon. Clare Connor hit an almighty shoulder. And Patrick Horgan, who's a very clean player. Clare players don't like it, but he hits a fair bang on Patrick O'Connor. He lost his helmet here. Just watch it here. Oh, there was an elbow flying as well. Just watch it here.
Yeah, he was trying to line him up, thinking that he was going to come up, but as O'Connor was trying to get a bit of speed up, you stay low, and Patrick Horgan, you know, just came in there. Very, very rash challenge on him. I think Fergal Horgan, knowing him as a referee, will probably take out a yellow card here. But Patrick Horgan will be lucky enough. There isn't anything in Patrick Horgan to say that he's a kind of a player who's going to try to take somebody out, but in that example, he was committed to try to get in on the tackle.
Let's go down to the sideline for a sideline view from Donald Grady.
Yeah, well, Martin, just looking at Cork, the way they're playing, I said, you know, when they're playing with the breeze, the temptation is to go long. And in the previous games, they were able to move the ball from the defence into midfield and then move it from midfield to half forward and then into the inside attack. But Clare is shutting that down. Colm Galvin is playing well back, dropping back once Cork get the ball, and Cork are failing to get that tactic working today, and the tempo is dropped.
Patrick Horgan gets that yellow card. Really always a very, very skillful and clean player, as Andrew Fahey takes the free, drops it in around the house. Ball is loose and available. Stephen McDonnell is there to relieve the pressure. Ball comes down out over the sideline ball on this occasion for Clare.
At this stage, you'd think, Marty, that Kingston below would be hoping that his Cork Chargers could get a score on the board. It has been a while.
It has been actually 10 minutes. Cork haven't scored since the 11th minute. They're coming here now with Conor Lahan. He's dropping this in. The umpire has no doubt. Excellent score by the Middleton man. Conor-Lahan.
Right on cue with two Clare players chasing him down, put it right between the posts. Conor-Lahan will be happy enough. He's been crowded out really in that centre forward position so far today.
Ball is tucked out, but it comes straight for Seamus Harnedy. But the wayward tuck out wasn't punished on this occasion. So the ball is wide. Just for your own knowledge, 5 wides for Cork. At the moment, just 3 for Clare. Oisin O'Brien just taking his eye off it momentarily, gives it into his centre half back, Conor Cleary. Far side, waiting for this Colm Malone, who's been performing well in the middle of the field. He's going for a score here, but it's going to tail again to the right and wide. 4 wides Clare, 5 wides Cork.
Yeah, Aaron Shanahan was getting a small bit of look inside there on Damien Cahalan, and he gets isolated in there, so Clare might get more joy if they could pop it in. But you can see what Anthony Nash is looking at now. Clare have pushed right back the pitch.
Flicking it was Colm Galvin, trying to knock it back for Patrick O'Connor. O'Connor can't prevent it from going out over the sideline. Sideline ball for Cork. But it's funny and interesting to watch. The Clare half forwards are all going outside the Cork 45-metre line. Stephen McDonald, Damien Cahalan, Cummins Spillane, Brendan, are all available to Anthony Nash.
They are, yeah, and I think supply we felt Clare might have coming into the game. They'll all sit back because between the Clare 65 and 45 is where Cork do all their damage on Nash's puck out. So why not shut it down and ask the question to Cork, what are you going to do next?
Exactly.
Anytime they've gone long, it hasn't really worked out for them. So far Clare will be really happy they've negated that threat Cork have.
Patrick Horgan comes for his Dara Fitzgibbon, and Fitzgibbon puts it over the bar. This is a really good hurler. He's actually not the first childhood player to play for Cork. Mick O'Toole in the 40s, Dan O'Mahony in the 50s, and Mick Martell in the 60s, so there's a great tradition.
There is, and sometimes you can't plan for quick thinking like that. A great pass from Horgan, fantastic touch and score.
Puck out this time from Fahy, is deep into Cork half of the field. He's without a hurley, Christopher Joyce, but he's still stuck to his task. Tried to get it to a colleague, but it's gone out over the sideline. Podge Collins going to take this, cuts it into the middle, but it's a wayward pass. It's easily cut out on this occasion by Mark Coleman. Seamus Harnedy getting there ahead of Patrick O'Connor. He's standing along the sideline. He's dropping this in, but it's tailing again to the right and wide. The shooting not up to normal standards on either side. Puck out was a short one for his Colm Galvin. Bill Cooper was just a fraction of a second late in disposing him. The two Clare lads collide, the momentum bringing them through. That's Conor Cleary and the man with the sliotar, Colm Malone. In a Stuyman man to Miltown Malvern man. North Clare to West Clare. As Clare go in pursuit of another score, this is dropping in, but it's dropping again. 5 wides for Clare. Wrong side of the post off Colm Galvin's hurling.
Yeah, and the wides there are just floated balls. They're not struck with any major conviction. You see Colm Galvin there in shot. The Cork have a player down at the moment with just a head injury. Could have been a clip off of the helmet, might have just cut his ear. Interesting, the score line as we look at Donald O'Cusick and Donald Maloney discussing what they can do to improve their team's chances. Wides count on your screen, but most importantly, in terms of what Cork have scored, a goal and 5 points, all of them from play, which is always a pleasing factor to the managers. The two Clare lads here, Conor Cleary and Colm Malone. Yeah, it was just a handle, the top part of the handle of Colm Malone's hurley as he tried to get up again and just caught the Cork player on the side of the ear. But I think Clare will be a little bit happier. Their puck out strategy, Andrew Fahy, a couple of them gone a little bit astray, but he's been able to find Colm Galvin a bit around that centre forward position there. He's building a few attacks through the middle. You're right, Cork on their own puck out are left with their 3 full backs, but you know, all they can do maybe is play a 1-2 with Anthony Nash and get him to use the wind and get it down on top of the square. But if you were Anthony Nash and you played at the highest level as a goalkeeper, would you use your cornerbacks and fullback a little bit more, like here? Yeah, you would, but the problem then is that the ball, unless it's delivered properly like this, it doesn't work out. The referee has blown his whistle. It was a high challenge. Corkman is down injured. That's Alan Cadigan. And this is going to be, I'm pretty sure, a yellow card for the Clare man. This time it's David McInerney that's in trouble here. It's a yellow card for the fullback for that hefty challenge on Alan Cadigan. Yeah, he's taking it for the high challenge on Allen there. But you're right, most teams back on the puck out, which is a key part of the strategy around today's game. You know, the cornerback should be able to deliver, and you saw a nice ball down the wing there. Should maybe use him a bit more and ask Clare a question. What are you going to do now?
Patrick Horgan taking the free. Seemed to miscue this completely. I think there was a whistle, would you believe, in the crowd, and I think he was looking at the referee as he was hitting it and just distracted a little bit. Just again to keep you up to date, Patrick Horgan has received a yellow card, so too has David McInerney, both of them marking each other. Only 2 yellow cards we've had so far. Crossfield ball is a good one over towards Shane Kingston. Conor Lahan can't keep it from going out over the sideline, so it's a sideline ball for the Banner County.
Shane Kingston has been well marshalled over on that far side of the pitch. He hasn't really been in the game at all. As there in the game against Limerick, seemed to pass him by. This one seems to be the same. He's going to need the next few minutes before half-time to get himself back into this game.
Shane Amori with the sideline cut. Bill Cooper anticipating and intercepting well, laying it off. Nice wrist again from Luke Meade. Good control, under a bit of pressure. Conor Cleary comes in to challenge. Conor Lahan is trying to get it back a little bit, and Clare drive it forward, pulling on the first time. Slither very close to the sideline. Good work again, lovely stick work by Mark Coleman. Ball into the middle, and they work it out of danger. Available over this side is Christopher Joyce. Will he try and get past Colin Galvin? Well, and then lays it off smartly. First Darragh Fitzgibbon, who continues to impress. Past the 45, inside the D. Colin Galvin bringing him down. That is a free for Cork, dead straight in front of the post. This is a very good hurler. Young fella from Charleville in North Cork.
And before he came onto our screens there, Darragh Fitzgibbon made a 40-yard run before he even got possession to support Joyce coming out with the ball, you know, and once he broke inside there, he had to be taken down by Colin Galvin, and gives his free taker an opportunity in front of the goals. But a willing runner always. Every team he's played against, Darragh Fitzgibbon, they've struggled to deal with that kind of forceful run up the middle.
Referee is getting some information from the linesman at the moment, some official. The umpire down at the far end is Camille Tanchini Nash, but meanwhile just seems to be a conversation more than anything else as Patrick Horgan takes the free and taps that one over the bar for a second point. Cork leading by 4, and the referee now being informed what was happening down at the other end, and Anthony Nash seems to be in trouble, and referee Fergal Horgan is coming all the way down. You can see that Sullivan is a little bit concerned about his keeper as well. Seemed to pick up a knock.
See what happened. Just saw Aaron Shanaher as they had that altercation. I don't think Aaron had a major amount to do with anything that was going on in there, but we play on.
Clare haven't scored since the 19th minute, 11 minutes ago. As Cork again have possession. Shane Amori gathering it, trying to bring it forward. Lovely stick work by Christopher Joyce, knocking it off the hurling. Sideline ball for Clare.
Clare need to get a foothold now, Marty. In the last 5 minutes or so, that it's drifting away from them. There's 4 points in it now. You know, they had Cork had given 10 minutes without scoring, and I just can't seem to stop. You know, they've gotten good flow and good momentum.
John Conlon cuts it into the middle. Should work out all right. It wasn't the best in the world, but it comes for as Conor McGrath. Lays it off towards Tony Kelly. Kelly gets away from the challenge almost to Darragh Fitzgibbon, and still Kelly, as he was falling, hit the shot. That's well wide, but great pressure by Darragh Fitzgibbon. He's the name that's coming. He's only 19, first-year art student at University College Cork. Ball breaks down as Cork have it once again. It's that man, Alan Cadigan, swinging it in and swinging it over the bar. Brilliant play by the Douglas man. He is on fire, and Clare, if they're going to remain in this Munster final, need to make a change in that position.
They do, and it's good cuteness too from Anthony Nash. He knew the Clare team had pushed up the field on the last attack, got the ball in his hand quickly. The very minute Fergal Horgan blew the whistle, he had it down in front of his full forward line. You see what happens.
Puck out from Andrew Fahy. Cork stretched their lead to 5, and worthy of that margin, I can assure you. Free this time is to Clare.
Bill Cooper rather straightened there a bit, but Bill goes in It was just a frontal, I suppose, on Tony Kelly. Normally, in fairness to Bill Cooper, as we saw with Kevin Moore and earlier on in the game with Podge, he can square you up nicely, but Clare are making a change.
Jason McCarthy is going to be introduced from Ina Kilnamona. He's a very good hurler, getting instructions from Donald Maloney. Don't be surprised if this change is in the Clare defence. Jason normally plays midfield, half back line. Very versatile player. As we look at Tony Kelly, going to take this free. Driving it and driving it over the bar. Good point.
Yeah, very good point under pressure, especially when he hasn't been that accurate from play.
And the change is being made. Oisin O'Brien is off, and going on is Jason McCarthy. Interesting to see that Shane Morey is gone on Alan Cadigan. Tactical switch which had to come around, and Shane is going to be tested immediately with this high ball. It's gone out over the end line, and it's gone for a 65 according to the umpire. Clare players are protesting, but the referee is having none of it.
Yeah, and his rebel saying we see it coming in again. It just comes off
Shane Morey's
hand.
I was a little bit surprised that it took that long, Brendan, for Clare to make that move, because right from the beginning, Alan Cadigan, 50-50 ball, he was winning it.
He was, yeah. I suppose they were trying, Clare, to hope that out around the middle of the third of the pitch they could stop the supply going in, but it was always going to be dangerous every time again, and especially someone like Cadigan. But yeah, it had taken that little bit longer, and they've paid the penalty for it, really, Clare.
Driving it in low. Seemed to miscue his shot again, Patrick Horgan. Colin Galvin on his own 45-metre line. John Conlon just about getting away with that. He's under pressure from Christopher Joyce. Still John Conlon trying to get away from Christopher. Hits it from a fair shoulder and then hits this ball across. And is it sneaking in? No, it's not. Ball is wide. Clare's tally of wides has increased to 7.
When you're 4 points down like this, you know, up to half-time, maybe taking on that extra couple of steps just to be dead sure.
2 minutes of additional time at least going to be added on. Again, Cork have options with the short puck out. I know I've been saying it, but I'm surprised that Clare are not pushing forward on the 3 Cork defenders. 2 cornerbacks and fullbacks free for every single puck out. No pressure from Clare.
Now they have, by doing that, taken Conor Lahan and Kingston. It's even Luke Meade playing the half-forward line slightly out of the game, but the problem then is that your inside line are exposed because the ball is coming that extra 30 yards, and that's what's been killing the Clare full back line.
And the ball is going into Allen, who's causing problems for Clare.
Correct.
I think that needs to be thought out again. Here comes John Conlon. Got away from the pressure and hits a beauty. When leadership is required, the team are not performing that well. He's got it.
Yeah, a big strong man, John Conlon, there, and steadied himself.
Puck out comes straight to Bill Cooper. Lays it off quickly. Darragh Fitzgibbon, referee, spotted an infringement. David Fitzgerald is protesting passionately. The referee is having none of it.
Again, it's that man, Darragh Fitzgibbon. When he takes the ball, it's a great lesson to kids watching it. He always takes the ball at pace, driving at the heart of the defence. You know, great bravery. Again, just before he made contact with the Clare half back line, just a loose flick of the hurley, and another big opportunity for Patrick Horgan.
Finding the rhythm, finding the style is working perfectly. That's much better from Patrick Horgan. It's his 3rd point of the match, 2 of them from frees.
Interest as well, Marty, on the Clare puck out. Cork are pushed up now, and they're marking all of their men.
But that's, in my opinion, is what Clare should be doing. But Cork are doing it, and that's the right strategy. Puck out obviously then has to go long from Andrew Fahey into the Cork half of the field. Again, it's Darragh Fitzgibbon sliding in there. He has the sliotar at the moment, steps away from the challenge, lays it off. Conor Lahan taken out of it, and the referee 100% correct, giving the free to Cork.
Fergal Horgan's patience is eventually going to wear out with this pulling back of runners. You'd see again Darragh Fitzgibbon coming through the middle, and the fear again of Conor Lahan actually getting onto the ball. He'd gotten the step on the defender, Conor Cleary, and he just had to pull him back. But again, it looks like target practice for Patrick Horgan, and the game starts to drift away from you then, free by free.
So the free going to be taken outside the Clare 65-metre line. Cork playing with wind advantage. Clare won the toss, decided to play against it. Horgan drives it straight between the posts for his 4th point of the game. Cork motoring well in Semple Stadium. And the referee, Fergal Horgan from Tipperary, blows the half-time whistle. Alan Cadigan has been outstanding with 2 points. Eventually Clare made the move to take off Oisin O'Brien and put on Jason McCarthy and move Shane O'Morey. That might stop the threat of Alan Cadigan. But Cork by far and away the better team in the first half.
They are, and they've used the ball quite well, and in periods of dominance they put it on the scoreboard where Clare haven't. But we also have to say, Marty, there's a strong enough breeze down this field and Clare have it in the second half.
We're looking forward to the second half. At half-time, it is Clare 8 points, Cork 110. Plenty of analysis coming your way right after the break.
Discover the magnificence, diversity, the stories and people from these remote Pacific islands.
This is Coast, New Zealand.
The new series starts tonight at 7:45 on RTE2.
Literally thousands of prizes are hot-footing into McDonald's because Monopoly Prize Mania is back with a 1 in 5 chance of winning instantly. There's everything from Big Macs and big trips to Universal Orlando Resort to €10,000 in actual, real money. What? Monopoly Prize Mania at McDonald's. Thousands of prizes and then some. You could be next.
Your journey, made by us, enjoyed by you. Get our best offers when you book online with the Irish Sea's leading ferry company.
Festival season's here. Centre Stage is in full swing and our award-winning network's got you covered. So that's your outfit taken care of. Shame we can't do more about your dance moves. Vodafone. Power to you.
It takes a nation to make a national sport. Hurling is what we are.
We are players.
We are moms.
We are the future.
We are our glorious past.
We are Ireland.
We are Fanatics.
We are Centra.
We are hurling.
Get ready for even better discounts on your insurance. Enjoy up to 60% off with secure home insurance you can rely on. Call 1890 222222 or search Post Insurance. Post Insurance. Expect more.
Guinness has always been about beer and people. And many of us have entered these gates in the footsteps of our parents and grandparents. 258 years ago, we signed a 9,000-year lease. We have a lot more beer to make.
Looks good. Let's make sure you're connected.
Great.
Right, let's have a wee look in here.
Okay. Hey, Mum.
Right, well, he seems happy enough.
Yeah, never seen him so quiet.
Great signal in here, too.
Hey, honey.
With Virgin Media's new Red House service, we deliver awesome Wi-Fi in every room. To find out more, search Virgin Red House.
Littlewoods Ireland, proud sponsor of the GAA Hurling Championship.
It's half-time in the 2017 Munster Hurling Final here at Semple Stadium in Thurles. Cork leading Clare by 1 goal and 10 points to 8 points. The attendance here today, by the way, 45,558. Henry Shefflin, Cork advantage, but Cyril Farr was saying just a moment ago, is 5 points enough?
Yeah, no, there is a bit of a breeze. It's hard for your viewers to say it at home, but I think Cork will like playing against it. I think from the outside, Clare handed the initiative from Cork. You know, the lads spoke in the commentary a lot about the puck-outs, but what they were doing is they were so afraid of Conor Lehan winning the puck-outs like we've shown previously. They dropped back to 2 half-forwards, completely back into the half-back line. That leaves 4 forwards against 6 defenders. So straight away, anytime Cork had Nash had the ball in his hand, they were in control of what is done. And that's handed the initiative straight away to Cork. And as well as that, the Cork full forward line have all scored. None of the Clare full forward line have scored. And obviously Alan Cadigan's 1-2 has been the difference. Yeah. It hasn't been a great game, Michael. It's been a little bit tactical, but Cork have been the better team and probably deserve to be another couple of points. I'd say Clare at half-time will be happy enough to be only 5 points down. Not surprisingly, I suppose, Liam, it's very tense out there. You can see it opening up, I guess, in the second half a bit.
No, I think you're right. That's the word I'd use. It's too tense, really. They haven't really let it flow. You know, I mean, I'd expect in a Munster final you go out and throw off the shackles and have a go, and it hasn't really happened. And I think the reason why Cork are on top is that the quality of ball that Alan Cadigan is getting and Seamus Harnedy is getting is put right in front of you. Like, there's only one ball that you could say where they, like, because Clare are playing out so far, there's no quality ball going in, and that's the one thing we said before the match. They've got to get quality ball into their inside forward line. The one time Shane O'Donnell got on the ball, he got a penalty. But like, they really have to change that. They really have to think about how they're going to approach the second half, because unless they can come up the field and get quality ball in where it's one-on-one situation in the inside forward line, they're going to struggle to break them down.
Yeah, so
yeah, you'll probably find that Michael come into it because they're playing Colin Galvin very, very deep. Now you'll find, as Liam was saying there, he'll shoot forward with the second half. He is capable of popping from outside. Cork, there's a nice little breeze coming in here on top of it, you know, in the town in here. They'll try to score from outside. They'll have to go they'll have to attack the game more, because Cork, to be fair, are trying to attack them the whole time, going ahead and taking lovely scores, popping off ball. 5 points isn't surmountable, but it's nice to be 5 points up than 5 points behind. But I'd expect Clare to shove on up a bit and maybe start scoring from outside, because like Tony Kelly is midfield along Malone, Colin McGalvin's lying back. I expect him to shove out a bit more, and you'll find that they'll be getting long range points. This game isn't over by any means, but it hasn't really taken off, Michael. Like, it's just kind of just waiting for something to explode.
Mind you, it did take off in that first half, Henry. We're down, as Cyril said, at the town end, which is the Cork end of the Cork supporters, and they jumped 10 feet in the air when Cork got that goal.
Yeah, no, it was a big score, and the game probably needed at that stage. But here we are, puck outs again. Nash, watch this. He picks up. He doesn't drive the ball. He lobs it gently in front of Alan Canigan. The ball bounces to take the heat off it. Alan Canigan skins his man. This is the kind of ball. Now, I think Andrew Fahey should have probably saved it, but it was brilliant. But it was a great turn. Alan Canigan is really on form. Oisin O'Brien has obviously been taken off. But it was the ball in front of him, right in front of his chest. So all he has to do is put out his hand and turn. Yeah. He knows what he's going to do onto his left-hand side, bottom corner. And just to showcase, this is what Clare are sitting off, as I said. Stephen McDonald, long ball. In front again is Seamus Harnedy. Out in front. It's easy when you're coming out attacking that ball. Clare are not getting that quality ball, as Liam has said. That's what Cork are looking to do, and so far that's why they're a few points ahead.
But they are the few points ahead. We're going to take another break here on the Sunday game, but do stay with us, because very shortly we're going to be giving you another chance to win yourself a trip to Miami.
Centra. We are hurling.
I'm looking for Mark. I'm his wife, Kate. Is this some kind of strip program?
He's meeting someone! Well, it's not me, so he must be cheating on both of us.
The Other Woman, Wednesday at 9:35 on RTE1.
Can Dundalk qualify for the UEFA Champions League?
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Oh, that's a goal and a half. What a goal. UEFA Champions League qualifier, Dundalk v Rosenborg, Wednesday at 7:30 on RTE2.
Forget your troubles and just get happy. We're here to chase all your
Hold it.
fears away.
By the end of this summer, nearly 1 million of our existing Electric Ireland customers will be enjoying the best long-term savings on the market. So sit back and relax. We'll automatically apply these savings this year, next year, and every year. It's that simple.
Get ready for a brand new day.
And if you're not an Electric Ireland customer, join today and you'll never have to switch again. Visit electricireland.ie. Electric Ireland. Smarter living.
This July, buy any 172 Toyota Hybrid, and if you don't love it, we'll swap it for a 181 petrol or diesel model, absolutely free. That's our hybrid guarantee. There is no compromise, no plugging in, and with 3 years free servicing, it's the smarter choice. Toyota, built for a better world.
This is George's first time trying new Pringles with perfect flavour in every bite. Not some bites. Not most bites.
Woohoo!
Every bite. He's a bit of an overreactor. New Pringles with perfect flavour in every bite. Pringles!
The Galway Races Summer Festival. It's the sport of kings in the city of the tribes at the Festival of the Year. Everyone knows because everyone goes. July 31st to August 6th.
Jam, focus.
Chung, you can concentrate when you're hungry. Eat a Snickers. Better?
Better.
You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
I can do anything.
Better than you.
Anything you can be.
I can be greater. I can do anything.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
As Ireland's largest communications company, we deliver powerful mobile coverage to every town, city and county in Ireland. And with our 30-day walkaway network satisfaction guarantee, you can do anything, anywhere with Air Mobile. Air. Let's make possible.
Imagine me and you, I do. I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about the girl you love and hold her tight. So happy to
Travel to Britain from just €89 one way for a car and driver. Irish Ferries. Travel together.
RTE Sport have teamed up with Aer Lingus, Ireland's only 4-star airline, to give you the chance to jet off on their brand new service direct to Miami. This great prize includes a 5-night stay in the luxurious Riviera Hotel South Beach, plus $1,000 spending money. For your chance to win, answer this. Which one of these counties won the 2017 Munster Senior Football Championship last weekend in Killarney? Was it Kerry, Clare or Limerick? To enter, call 1517 71 7182 or text the word GAME followed by your answer and name to 57001. Calls from the Air network will cost €2.03. Calls from other networks may be higher. Viewers in the north can also text 57001 or call the number on screen. You must be over 18 to enter. Lines will close at midday on Monday, July 17th. Full details are on rte.ie/competitions, where the lucky winner will also be revealed.
And a reminder of the half-time scoreline in this year's Munster hurling final. It is Cork leading Clare by 1 goal and 10 points to 8 points. Cork getting that goal, Liam. Clare had a chance of a goal as well. They got a penalty.
Yeah, they had 2 chances to goals. One obviously came back earlier on. But watching this, you know, again, one of the few times they got the ball in, Aaron Shanahan really strong in the air, won the ball. You know, as Henry spoke about it before the match, like the Cork, they are playing, when the ball is in there, there's a crowd around them. But look at Shane O'Donnell, a wonderful pickup. You know, he was dragged back, and you know, to me, it absolutely was a penalty. Right decision by Fergal Horgan. You see the arm going out there, falls to the ground. But again, he was going through. Tony Kelly steps up again, ball goes over the bar. I guess, you know, when we look at the last 3 penalties that Tony has taken, he took one in the league against Cork, Anthony Nash saved it. He took one the last day against Limerick, it went wide, and he took one today and he's got a point. That's a 1 point return from 3 penalties. At this level, Michael, those shots need to be hitting the back of the net all day, every day. You know, TJ Reid and the top men, they hit the net every time, and that Clare needed a goal at that stage in that first
they did,
half.
surely. Listen, Patrick Horgan got some very good scores in that first half, good frees and so on. He also got a yellow card. I wonder what you guys thought about this, because it looked, I suppose, in fairness, it looked a bit dramatic, if you like.
Yeah, well, you see, it was a ball snow. Patrick Connor his head down now. I'd say he was lining up for a good rattle. He's not a dirty player, but it was a yellow card. Like, watch, look, he comes out his head down, lines up, and he's probably looking like it is definitely yellow. If it was in football, you'd probably get a black card, but that's not in hurling. But like, he got the yellow for the free out. I would think there's no maliciousness in it, like, but he was just lining up. Patrick Connor is coming up the ground, and it's
I think when you see it like that, you'd have to say he was looking to stay in the field, and it's a sign of the game. We don't see Patrick Horgan doing that much, because I think it's brought that element of physicality to his game this year. But he went with the elbow up high. The helmet came off the man's head. Yeah. He's very lucky to be still on the field, you know.
Sure. I mean, as we always say in this programme, it doesn't really matter whether he's that kind of player or he's not that kind of player. If it happened, it happened, and that's the end of it. We have a Cork man down on the sideline. Donald O'Grady, how are you? I'm just wondering what you're thinking of the game so far.
Well, Michael, I'm sitting here where where Clare were attacking in the first half, and they had 7 wides, all from outside. And as Liam Sheedy said earlier, I was surprised when John Connon broke past the half back line, and again with Carl Malone as well, that they didn't feed the ball directly, an angle ball into Shane O'Donnell and Conor McGrath. They failed completely to supply their inside line. And I think for the second half, Colm Galvin sat way back near the centre-back. I think his value to the team is racing forward, picking off the points, and I think if Tony Kelly himself and Podge Collins don't get the chances to run at the Cork defence, I think Cork will win this game. But that's the only chance for Clare now, I think, to drive at Cork right down the middle. Cork got a bit of a good tempo going 10 minutes before half-time. They moved the ball through midfield the way they wanted to play, a short ball. So that's what I'm looking for. I think Clare will have the first 5 minutes really go at Cork.
All right, Donald, thank you very much indeed. Cork are back out on the field at the moment, waiting for Clare. Just briefly, Henry, can Clare turn this around?
Well, I think Donald mentioned Tony Kelly needs to get into the game. Podge Collins, Conor McGrath, we haven't seen him. You know, like the standout player in the first half has probably been Darragh Fitzgibbon, 19 years of age, and he's bossing midfield. So I think Clare, I think they just need to throw off the shackles and just go at it. This is what we're saying about hurling. It's an instinctive game. Just throw it and go, because they have the players, and I think they've been restricting themselves. So if they do that, they have a chance. But it's looking like Cork at the moment.
Liam, they're having a good chat, obviously, in the dressing room.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can't blame. Like, I mean, if those players were to come off the field now, if this was the end of the game, like, they'd have completely underachieved in a Munster final. You know, in a great sporting day like this, you want to go out and you want to at least put your best foot forward. To me, they haven't really matched up. They haven't got quality ball in. They have a lot of soul searching to do with this half-time. I expect when they come out that they're ready to go and say, right, let's push forward. Let's get quality ball into the inside foul line. And if we're going to lose, let's at least lose admirably.
Yeah, but you could see a different. As Jonas says, they will attack. They're going to shoot forward, and they have to have any chance of winning.
Let's go back to Marty Morrissey and Brendan Cummins.
Thank you very much, Michael. Clare aiming to win their 7th Munster title and first since 1998. Cork seeking their 53rd. 35 minutes to decide which way the cup will be travelling later on this evening. In case you see the Clare number 27, and is Carl Malone, who's normally wearing number 9. And also you can see that Jason McCarthy is with the sliotar. He was introduced just before the break. Bursting forward there, but Cork are going to regain it here easily with Mark Ellis. Crossfield ball into the middle. First touch by Christopher Joyce. Had to use the wrist sharply to get it back past Bill Cooper. There was a chop down there. I would suggest the referee is allowing the advantage. Good refereeing by Fergal Horgan. Ball has gone out over the sideline ball for Clare.
Yeah, Fergal Horgan's going back to John Conlon there, just slapped across the defenders. He's coming out with the ball.
David Reedy has come on, and Podge Collins is the player that's apparently gone off. We'll double check that in a moment. Yeah, David Reedy is on. He was surprisingly dropped. He played well. His free taking wasn't fantastic in the semi-final against Limerick, but I think there was a genuine surprise that David Reedy didn't make the starting 15. Meanwhile, it's Clare, and it is Shane O'Donnell. Calling for it is Conor McGrath. McGrath drives it in low, and Anthony Nash had to be alert. Comes back outside for his Aaron Shanahan, floating it in. He made an angle for himself, and it's good enough It has quality, and it's over the bar.
Yeah, it was a good save there as well by Anthony Nash, but Aaron Shanahan there has been threatening to come in on the game. Conor McGrath just hooked there slightly, and they're always the dangerous ones, the goalkeeper, the miss hits.
David Fitzgerald, Clare starting the second half, setting out their stall early, meaning business. This one is dropping in rather easily to Anthony Nash, who'll drive it down into the Clare half of the field. Ball breaks away. Here comes Carl Malone under a bit of pressure. Keeps it down the wing. Coming out is Shane O'Donnell. More importantly, Stephen MacDonald knocks it down, and Cork regained the possession. Trying to burst forward is Bill Cooper. He gives it to his midfield partner, Dara Fitzgibbon, who scored a good point in the first half. And Andrew is happy to see that go out over the line. Well, they had a slow start in the opening 20 seconds or so, but it soon sparkled. And the game itself hasn't been as exciting as what we saw previously in this Munster Championship.
No, it hasn't. It hasn't yet gotten that spark. It's coming.
Ball dropping into the Cork half of the field. Stephen MacDonald just between the 13 and 20 metre line. Bill Cooper is available again. Ball, diagonal ball into the space, chasing after Seamus Harnedy. Out comes Patrick Horgan. Lovely stick work. Little chink to left and right. Tripped by player number 3, David McInerney, and that is going to be a free for Cork to the left of the goalpost.
Yeah, it's been a feature of Cork's play throughout the Munster Championship. When they get the ball coming out from the middle, it's an angle ball in front of a corner forward, or a full forward in that example, Patrick Horgan coming out. Very, very hard to defend. And this is the new, Henry touched on it, that little bit extra aggression that's in Patrick Horgan. Right, it might have spilt over earlier on in the first half, but he's there willing to take on his man.
Hits that perfectly between the posts. Scored 4 in the first half. This is his first and the second. And still 5 points between the teams. Remember, Clare now playing with a slight summer breeze in this second half. Andrew Fahey drives it down into the Cork half of the field. Aaron Shanahan gets a little touch. Running onto it is that man. O'Donnell knocked away on this occasion. Still danger for Cork. Conor McGrath, just outside the 20-metre line, floats it in, but floats it across the face of the goal and wide. Clare have shot 8 wides in this Munster final.
That was some defending there, Marty, and Mark Coleman. When the ball broke over the top, he dived full length in to get the flick away from Shane O'Donnell, who looked like he was in.
Again, Cork used the short puck-out strategy. Far as Damien Callahan. Good work on this occasion by Patrick O'Connor. Gives it to Conor Cleary. Flicks it over towards John Conlon. John Conlon looking at options up front. Very few available. They're all congregating down this corner. Ball breaks again. Good work by Colin Spillane. Knocks it into the middle. Bill Cooper in this second half has got on so much ball. Distribution is not great on this occasion as David McInerney powerfully goes forward. First to the ball and hits it straight between the posts by David McInerney.
Seamus Hardy in the background, his hands out. He wanted the ball over the top, but if that's not a rallying cry for Clare now, nothing is. You hear the crowd starting to get going again. Fantastic score from McInerney.
Again, the short ball to the corner back from Anthony Nash to Colin Spillane. Patrick Horgan is looking sharp. Gives it for Shane Kingston. Yet to score. And that statistic has just changed. Son of the manager, Kieran, Douglas clubman, good play.
Yeah, guess what? Angle ball in and a pop pass in Kingston is a great score considering he hasn't really felt the weight of the ball that often in this game, but that's super score.
Puck out comes down for us. O'Donnell trying to get away, skipping away. It's Shane, and Shane is fouled, and that's going to be a free in for Clare, just inside the Cork 65-metre line.
Yeah, when Shane O'Donnell comes into the tackle, he just dips there and caught Dara Fitzgibbon, who was trying to tackle him. In fairness, Dara let go of the hurley, just hoping that it wouldn't be given as a free. Another opportunity for Tony Kelly, and the way Clare are playing at the moment, all these from Tony, these frees need to stick now. They have to go over.
Dara Fitzgibbon, confirmation that he got a yellow card for that challenge. Tony Kelly scored 5 points in the first half, going for his 6th. Looking good from our perch here, and that's over the bar.
The next question, of course, Marty, is at some stage in this journey for Clare, they're going to have to get a goal, and I don't see where they're going. One's going to come from now at the moment.
Here it is again. There's Damien Cahalane. Shane O'Donnell, no matter how good he is not going to be able to mark 3 corner backs. Here comes Shane Kingston. Scored a point a moment ago. The 19-year-old is getting inside. About to pull the trigger, leaves it across. Here comes Shane O'Morey. Alan Callaghan was there as well. The referee has blown his whistle. And he's given a free to Cork. A wonderful, incisive run by Shane Kingston, who's certainly sparkled to life in this second half.
He has, and that point he got there, would have really helped his confidence. Shane O'Morey got a great flick away there from Seamus Harney, good refereeing from Fergal Horgan, giving him the opportunity to try to get the goal. When it didn't materialise, then called back the free.
Cian Dillon is coming on for Clare, and he's going to replace O'Connor. So number 17 on for 4. It means the captain has played his part.
But it's hard out there, Marty, to be in the Clare full back line, because Cork are playing short puck out. They're putting the ball then over your half back line, and it's great accuracy, to give credit to Cork, right in front of the forwards like Harnedy and Horgan, Cadigan, all running onto it. And when they turn and square you up, there's not an awful lot you can do at that stage.
Patrick Horgan driving this over the bar. Easy for him. Then Rovers, of course, going for their 3rd county championship in a row in Cork, and himself and the Cork captain Stephen MacDonald will be to the forefront for that challenge for that great club on the north side of Cork City. Puck out from Andrew Fahey, comes straight for his Tony Kelly, and again it's tailing to the right and wide.
The process was good. Tony Kelly ran into a pocket of space, found lovely by Andrew Fahey. You can see him grimacing there. The man of his experience now, he needs to play through his full forward line and give them a chance to express themselves.
David Fitzgerald lays it off as Colm Galvin. And from the middle of the field, he's going for it, and it is straight and through. Good score. Fine point by Colm Galvin.
Yeah, Colm Galvin made a good decision there by having a go, because there's only one Clare forward inside. You see going over the bar. Good score again, and Cork are off on the...
Really amazed, Brendan, that Clare haven't pushed forward on the Cork puck-outs. I don't see the logic of it at all.
Well, I think Anthony and Hash at this stage, without labouring the point, and Conor Lehane have gotten inside the Clare management heads. They've seen the way that axis has worked in the previous 2 games, decided to shut it down. But Cork are just so good, and their game management so good, that they're just kidding Clare another way, which is putting it over the top into the full forward line.
Sideline ball going to be taken by Colm Galvin. Donald O'Cusick again having a quick chat with Donald Maloney, just there you saw a moment ago. Conor Lehane driving this in. Shane O'Morey doing a lot better in this second half, and since he's been moved onto Alan Cadigan. Colm Malone gives it for his Colm Galvin. Galvin going for his 2nd point of the match. This one is dropping. Anthony Nash underneath it. Never took his eye off the sliotar. Lays it off for his Mark Coleman. Coleman has the time to lay the ball down his left flank, down the swing. Oh, Conor Lehane, brilliant, great catch.
That was just class, Marty. He was in front of his man, Conor Cleary, first, and then he drifted behind him because he judged the flight of the ball that bit better than the Clare defender. So he started in front, just off camera, and then got behind him, caught it over his head, and then headed straight for goal. No choice, but then at that stage to wrap around him, you can see the run of Harnedy off his shoulder, or Alan Cadigan off his shoulder as well, trying to get onto it, and that's been the difference for Cork. They've used their full forward line an awful lot better, willing support runners, whereas the Clare full forward line, unfortunately, have been starved.
Patrick Horgan will take these for fun all afternoon. Sends that one over the bar for his 7th of the afternoon in this Munster final. Made and created by Conor Lehane, who judgment was perfection. His leap into the air above a taller man was sublime, and Clare's shooting continues to be erratic. Once again, Tony Kelly shooting. This time it's the 10th wide of the match for Clare.
Yeah, there is the argument of someone like Tony Kelly, if you don't buy a ticket, etc. But I think at this stage, a man of his experience should be using his colleagues inside a little bit more.
Same strategy working all the time. I don't want to be dwelling on it, but that must be the 6th or 7th puck out of the second half going to Damien Cahalane. Clare doing nothing about it. Good work here by Patrick Horgan. Gives it back somehow for Seamus Harnedy. Trying to cut inside. Takes too many steps out of it. Free out to Clare. Overcooked it.
And Fahy now has no place to go really with this at the moment, because Cork have two players spare back on the edge of their own D.
Looking a little bit concerned at the moment, Kieran Kingston. Andrew Fahy spots that David Fitzgerald is unmarked. Gives it inside to Colm Galvin. Still going for that second point for him, and again it's to the left and right.
And the Cork management are very happy to leave Clare shoot from 60, 70 yards. They were retreated back. They were very comfortable leaving those spare Clare players out there and said, right, have a go if you like.
I know there's an awful tendency when you're playing with the wind to let the ball fly, but sometimes you've got to use your intelligence and try and work the ball in close to the goal. They're shooting from way out the field there. It's not working. Full credit on this occasion to David Reedy. Gets his first touch. And Aaron Shanahan and Shane O'Donnell off camera are pleading with the players to let the ball in rather than be shooting
Clare,
foolishly.
Yeah, they'd be better served at this stage now for one of the Clare players to go down injured and get a bit of chat in around the group and just say, relax, we're getting enough possession, let's just use it a bit smarter. Here we go, Damien Cahalane with his 20th possession early this stage.
This is not a repeat, this is live, this has happened before quite a lot, and it's Cork that have it. Shane Kingston, good interception on this occasion. Great work by Clare, and John Conlon in particular. Loses the possession on this occasion, but picked up by Jason McCarthy. It's 3 against 3. Aaron Shanahan's one of the 3. He's turning, he's about to pull the trigger, and he loses the sliotar. One great defending by Cork. I think there was a little nudge of the hurley there just to knock it off the stick. As Cork come out with it, Christopher Joyce. Great play by Cork. Superb. Back again comes Colm Galvin. This is dropping in. Anthony Nash is under a little bit of pressure from Shane O'Donnell. Has to scoop it out the field. Gets it out first, Christopher Joyce. Good work again by Joyce. Under pressure, lays it out first, Bill Cooper. There is no hanging about in the second half. Oh, great catch. Fantastic, Alan Cadigan. Beating Shane O'Morey. Suffers a hefty challenge as he was going through by Cian Dillon.
Yeah,
and the referee, that is a high.
That is a high one for Cian Dillon. That frustration, he comes in, just wraps it around. Look, it'll probably just be up a yellow card. In normal play, it looked a little bit worse probably. Obviously with these things when you slow him down, but Alan Cadigan 2-3 yards in front of Shane O'Morey, put his hand up, caught it. One thing in his mind then is take on his man, then take on the next guy. You know, Cadigan, it's really been, I suppose the key thing for Cork is that the likes of Alan Cadigan, Patrick Horgan, look at that for a catch. No hurley up behind his hand. He's just so confident that he's going to catch it. Here's Shanahan coming through, and again loses the ball in possession. Just lack of concentration. Starts the attack again. Cork start to build and move it out the pitch. But again, that bit of bite is what was missing out of this Cork team. And in fairness to Kingston and the Rock, Dermot Sullivan down there, they've gotten that into this team now again, and we're seeing the fruits of it.
Patrick Horgan takes the free and scores his 8th point of the match. Six points between the teams.
Andrew Fahy's struggling here now, Marty, because Cork are all gone man-to-man around the pitch.
20 minutes to go. Seamus Harnedy was anticipating the puck out was going to be aimed at David Reedy. Tries to get the return pass. Runs on nicely for Conor Lehane. Between the 45 and 65. Up goes Alan Cadigan. Trying to get inside the Clare cover. There's a bit of worry every time he touches the ball this afternoon. Out comes David McInerney. Manages to get it out a little bit. Comes first Patrick Horgan. It's going to curl. Is it going to curl? It's gone inside. No, it's not. Umpire says wide. It's pretty close from my vantage point.
Well, Shane O'Morey won a very vital battle inside the edge of the square there when the ball just popped out of Cadigan's hand. He was able to sweep it out to the side. It was vital because he got that in his hand, Marty. It was lights out.
Andrew Fahy goes for distance, dropping it down into the Cork half of the field. They're getting little or no change up front, the Clare forwards. Comes for Stephen McDonnell. 2 against 2. David McInerney again showing tremendous leadership at the back. Not only is he defending well, but he's also going forward and scoring a point. This pass down towards Conor McGrath had a little bit too much zip in it. Sideline ball, Cork.
It did, and even if Conor McGrath won that ball down there, Martin, the corner, it was the man he was marking, plus there was 2 Cork players coming back as well. So even if he did win it that far out to the sideline, he was going to be shut down again.
Sideline ball again for Cork. Taken by Mark Coleman. Ball zips along the sideline. Chasing after this is Seamus Harnedy. First touch. Leaves the slipper behind him, but the reinforcements are there. Luke Meade pulls the brakes and slips this just inside the post and over the bar. Brilliant play by the Newcestown man.
Yeah, Luke Meade. They're working well together. Conor McGrath isolated, not 30 seconds. Seamus Harnedy bursts up along the wing, miscontrols the ball, but Meade is behind him, supporting each other, willingness to help a teammate.
Puck out comes all the way down towards Conor McGrath, but Cork are first to the ball. They're attacking 50-50, even sometimes 60-40 in favour of the Clare man. The Cork man seems to get them.
Yeah, they are, you know, and Clare are going to have to do a lot to change this momentum. This man is going to have to come into a lot more as well, Tony Kelly.
Tony Kelly getting away from the cover, uses the short grip, and that's more like Tony Kelly. Good score.
And that's why he's so dangerous playing inside that opposition half of the field, you know, and he's within scoring range. He just arrowed that over the bar, but again, it still comes down to where going to Clare get this goal that they need.
First score for Clare for 9 minutes. As Cork go back into the attack. Slipper goes out over the sideline. Sideline ball for Clare. Kieran Kingston. It's a workmanlike performance by his team. They've worked so hard. At times they've been spectacular against Tipperary and Waterford, but in terms of work rate, this is a pretty impressive performance.
Yeah, they've been exceptionally good, and the work, as I said earlier, that the Cork background team have done with these players. You know, now they're 6 points clear, 17 minutes left in the Munster final. Who'd have thought this 12 months ago when they're here against Tipperary? So it's been a fantastic turnaround. But today, really, Marty, now is going to be all about Clare. What have they got? How are their big guns going to play further up the pitch and take a few chances?
Shane Amore puts the ball in well. Mark Ellis under a little bit of pressure. John Conlon works very hard in every match. Breaking away from the Cork defence. 3 Corkmen chasing after. Conor McGrath going for the goal! Brilliant goal!
That's how they're going to get the goal, Marty. That brilliance of Conor McGrath, and only 2 well standing inside there. He's a fantastic. Once Conlon got inside, big strong man. He's brave to shoot from there, but what a strike right across Anthony Nash, low into the corner. He's not saving them ones. Fantastic. Now Clare are back in the hunt.
Brilliant goal by Conor McGrath. The first real goal opportunity that came to the Banner County, came to the right man in the right place, and now they're beginning to show fire. Fire best exemplified by fullback David McInerney, who's trying to drive on his colleagues further out the field. Cork looked comfortable for a little while, but now it's a 3-point game.
It is. You can't the skill of Conor McGrath with the wrists he has to fire a ball past Anthony Nash from 20 yards like that. He didn't have a hope, and that's the spark, and that's what the inside forwards will do, and Tony Kelly's going quick.
Free is quickly taken, coming across is Dara Fitzgibbon. Might get there ahead of Colin Galvin. Great anticipation. Line ball is to Clare. Take it quickly. First Tony Kelly, giving a little bit of space and time. Good thinking between Galvin and Kelly, and that's more like the combination. The one minor under 21 All-Ireland titles. Galvin and Kelly, when they're firing on full cylinders, I can assure you that the Banner County are nearly always winning matches.
Yeah, you can see there the Banner roar is back. That man there is as passionate as these players are on the pitch. The gauntlet's down to Cork again.
2 points between the teams. The comeback on thanks to the Conor McGrath goal. Here is one man who's really causing problems for Clare. Alan Cadigan is simply brilliant.
Yeah, he's class, and Shane Moore is a great man, Mark. I'm not too sure what other options Clare are going to have to put on him, but that's some answer, that's some strike off of his left, especially when his team are under the cot. Fantastic leadership.
And a great response, Brendan, from Cork, having conceded a goal, that they go down and score a point. Something everybody likes in the team. Showing a lot of character. Ball breaks available. It's O'Donnell who lays it off. This is a chance for Colin Malone. Difficult angle. And he whips it across the face of the goal, and it's gone out for a sideline.
Inside the post again. It's the second time Colin Malone has hit the woodwork or steelwork as it is nowadays. A fine shot and just bang off the crossbar.
Let's have a look at it here from this angle. Here's Paul Malone setting up the shot. Deflected away. Great opportunity.
Cork Clare down now, and I think Cork will be happy enough now just to break a bit of this Clare momentum, let the game die down a little bit more now.
Let's get on to the sideline for some sideline reaction from Donald O'Grady.
Well, Marty, Cork have just introduced Daniel Carney for Shane Kingston, and just look at the Clare defence. They set up first with Shane Mooney as a man marker on Kingston because of his pace, and also Ishmael O'Brien, but those two will have to rejig that. Jason McCarthy's on the right half back, but that's the first time I think that Clare have attacked the Cork half back line and ran at them, and that's where it's going to prove dividends if they're going to win this game.
Great covering by Spillane. Colm Spillane driving it into the Cork Clare half of the field. Clare playing with a little bit more fire in their bellies, led by Colm Galvin. Ball into the middle. Tony Kelly just gets a touch, can't control it. Nice pick up by Mark Coleman. Skips by the first challenge. Nice stick work, giving it long in towards the corner. Once again is Patrick Horgan getting away on this occasion from the Clare defence and splitting the post with a superb point. Alan Callaghan and Patrick Horgan are awesome this afternoon in Semple Stadium. Ball is pucked out quickly by Tony Kelly, and again the result is the same. Yeah,
and you see Mark Coleman had the chance to do what Tony Kelly did there, but he didn't. For a 19-year-old, he showed super maturity. He said, I'm going to use my inside forward, put the ball outside Patrick Horgan, and they get a score. Tony Kelly up the other end says, oh, I better try to get a point here. Forgets the boys inside and plays another one wide.
12 minutes left in Semple Stadium. Cork leading by 4, 118 to 114. Damien Callahan getting by Shane O'Donnell. Had to work hard for it. Ball becomes loose and available. Seamus Harnedy coming through. Back there, helping out is Cian Dillon. Sweeps it over to the far side where John Conlon is available. Gains a little bit of space. Passing the midfield. Passing the Cork 65. Driving it in and driving it over the crossbar. Brilliant point, John Conlon.
A great score from John Conlon there. You know, I suppose if you throw enough, some of it's going to stick, and it was a great score. He got well away from his man and showed good composure. 3
points between the teams again. Again, the short puck out, this time to Damien Callahan at the far side of the field. Ball is knocked down. Coming through is Dara Fitzgibbon. Getting by the first challenge. That was surely a foul. The referee allows the advantage, and Dara Fitzgibbon sends this across the face of the goal and wide. But the referee had his arm outstretched all the time for that challenge. He allowed the advantage. No advantage accrued, so it's a free hit.
Yeah, Dara Fitzgibbon, for a young man, you know, he's very good, strong upper body. Imagine what he's going to be like after another year or two of weight. But you know, breaking the tackle again, and you know, another opportunity for Patrick Horgan, and Cork need this one now to stay the ship a small bit.
Aaron Cunningham is coming on for Aaron Shanahan. Two Wolf Tones men from Shannon. Patrick Horgan, meanwhile, stands over this. Should be a relatively easy score for him, but he really hit it very hard. The umpires had no doubt over the bar.
Yeah, Cork responded well. It's what they've done in this Munster Championship. Tip scored a goal against them. Conor Lehane responds with a point. Clare against Clare here today. You know, Clare get the goal, and Cork now have gotten a point after, another one on top of it, so they've steadied up a bit.
Luke O'Farrell is on. Dara Fitzgibbon is the player that makes way. Added to sideline ball.
Surface going to be greasy as now as well, Marty. The rain is starting to come down here in Thurles.
Going back to take the sideline cut is Christopher Joyce from the Piershig. 4 points between the teams. Cork supporters remain confident. Well picked up by Conor McGrath, laying it back. There's only one way forward for John Conlon. He's under severe pressure, has to pick it up again, and great work. Daniel Carney, Seamus Harnedy. 10 out of 10 for sheer intensity, work rate, and phenomenal piece of hurling. Harnedy's second point came about through the hard work of Daniel Carney and through his own skill.
Yeah, Daniel Carney's a great substitute to have coming in.
Ball is quickly taken. Over first, David Reedy, trying to get away from Daniel Carney. Still David Reedy. giving it forward first. Aaron Cunningham and Conor McGrath. It's Aaron Cunningham that's driving this in, and the substitute has already made an impression. Good play, Aaron Cunningham.
Yeah, fair play to David Reedy, who went through. The temptation would have been maybe to have a go, but he gave it to the shooter inside, and first touch of the ball is not bad in the Munster final, to swing it over the bar.
Anthony Nash this time goes for distance. Ball comes down into the middle, breaking ball. Bill Cooper is there. There's a high challenge by David Fitzgerald. Still there, available. Luke Meade has it now. Gives it back first, Bill Cooper. Bill Cooper's efforts. And again, it's David McInerney. He's covering acres of ground in Semple Stadium, trying to inspire everybody around him.
Yeah, he's a serious defender. You know, the temptation there for most defenders is to put the hand on the back when they're reaching in like that, but he kept his left hand out of the way, cleans the ball away. And here we have Mark Coleman now, who's Austin Gleeson like, really, I suppose, in the way he cuts these line balls. You wouldn't be surprised off the greasy surface if you could skid this one over the bar.
Mark Coleman from Blarney going to take this. Scored 1 point in the championship so far. That was a sideline ball against Waterford. And here it is again.
It's just perfect for line ball takers like that, to have the ground a little bit greasy, the sod moves that little bit, and there's some skill. I mean,
beautiful.
It's unbelievable.
5 points between the teams once more, as it was at half-time. Clare battling hard, but finding it very difficult to get their rhythm, particularly up front. David Reedy and another substitute, Aaron Cunningham. Early high challenge. Referee has his arm outstretched, saying advantage. As Jason McCarthy goes forward, and this is going straight between the posts and over the bar. Good score by the Einik and Lamona player.
Yeah, great score there, McCarthy. He came through, you know, and it's something that Clare will need to do now. It looks like Cork are letting them shoot from long range if they want. If they can get a couple more of them, it might draw Cork out.
Short puck out again, Paris Colm Spillane dropping this down. Cork have the possession. Patrick Horgan to Harnedy. Nice little 1-2, and the finish is not as good. Just to the right and wide. 45,556, which I think is the highest attendance in the Munster final since 2008. Enjoying this second half. Not as exciting or as thrilling, we would have to say, in the Munster Championship journey we've seen so far, but still right now it's in the melting pot. Cork still in front, deservedly so. Ball down into the space towards Luke O'Farrell. Clare come across to deal with the situation momentarily. Linesman has his flag up indicating it's a Clare ball, thanks to the good work of Colm Galvin.
They're about to make another substitution as well. Peter Duggan, again, guy with great pace. They need somebody now with a bit of an X factor that's going to get him another goal. Not too dissimilar to the strike we saw from Conor McGrath.
Ball into the middle again for that sideline cut. Cork defensively very strong, dealing with everything that's been thrown at them in the second half, as the ball is whipped beautifully between the posts and over the bar. Mark Coleman.
And not only did he get the ball over the bar, Marty, with great pace, he showed great maturity, sprinted back to his position at wing back again. Not happy that he scored a point in the Munster final, back to his own job again. It's great maturity from the young man.
Peter Duggan is on for Carl Malone. He's going to be wearing number 22 when you see him right now, trying to get away from Mark Coleman. Referee giving the free to Clare. Mark Coleman is only 19 years of age. It's his first championship season. It shows a lot that Kieran Kingston went for these teenagers, but they've been outstanding, every single one of them.
They have, and the belief that they've had throughout this whole Munster Championship, you know, has really brought them to this stage now where they're coming down the home straight in a Munster final, having a comfortable enough lead. So, you know, again, we can't say enough or speak highly enough about the work that's been done with these Cork players.
Mickey Cahalan is on for Luke Meade as we look at Tony Kelly. Going to take this free and straight inside the post and over the bar.
Now 5 minutes, 4 minutes or so for Clare to try to make sure they're not in a quarter-final draw.
4 points between the teams, and the short ball puck-out strategy has been going on since 4 o'clock or thereabouts. In comes Seamus Harnedy. Difficult angle, and he just goes outside the post. The clock is 66 minutes 33 seconds. 118-122. Can Cork maintain that advantage, or can Clare salvage something and force perhaps a replay? Cork have been the better team, let's be honest. Clare struggling in so many areas. Shane O'Donnell trying to give it forward. There's a clear push in the back, just on the verge of the D there, and that is a free in for Clare.
It's very wild from Damien Cahalane there. He swung across the back of Tony Kelly. We'll see it again here. Tony gets it. You could say he was trying to flick the ball away, but the hurley was coming in a bit hard. It'll be a yellow card, and we'll move on. But free by free now, all of a sudden, you know, and you look at the scoreboard, suddenly there's only going to be one puck of a ball between the teams.
Tony Kelly will surely go for a point here. Cork's advantage to 3 points with about 2.5 minutes left. White flag is raised. 9 points for Tony Kelly this afternoon. Can Clare produce something in the final 2.5 minutes of playing time? Whatever will be added on, it won't be an awful lot, I'm sure. Or can Cork hold on to win that Munster title? Puck out, drops down. Conor Cleary goes up into the clouds, gives it low. Chasing after this is Peter Duggan. Slipping and sliding under a little bit of pressure. Last man to touch it was Seamus Harnedy. That's going to be a Clare ball. Little bit of mist now continuing to fall, making conditions slippy. Clare want to get on with it. Conor Cleary sends it over into the middle where Colm Galvin is operating. Ball in towards Tony Kelly. Heading towards the corner flag. Should get there in time, but Cork are there as well. Great defending. Damien Cahalane under a bit of pressure. Knocked away on this occasion. In comes Phil Cooper. Far as Daniel Carney. No messing about from Cork. They'll go for distance. Knocked away on this occasion. Colm Galvin. The clock is 68 minutes 47 seconds. Conor Cleary is available. Spinning it across over towards Conor McGrath. His goal was crucial. Willing to take on the Cork defence, and away he goes. And from along the sideline, he's putting this in and putting this over the bar. Great point by Conor McGrath. He's gotten 2 opportunities this afternoon in Semple Stadium, and he scored a goal and a point in the second half. 3 minutes of additional time at least going to be added on. 2 points, 122 Cork, 120 Clare. The puck out again is short for Damien Cahalane. The effort is blocked on this occasion. Clare go forward and they'll try and block it again. Good defending by Damien Cahalane, but good recovery over first Christopher Joyce. Clare attacking the ball on this occasion. Don't get away with it. Mickey Cahalane gets a touch. Patrick Horgan cuts inside. Available if he needs him, and he needs him as Alan Cadigan. Cadigan drives it wide.
It's the third one. Seamus Harnedy has had 2 opportunities. Alan Cadigan's had 1 there now. All have gone wide, all breathing more life into the Clare balloon.
The tension is palpable in the Coliseum that is Semple Stadium. John Conlon slipping as he was trying to get away. Was hooked. Good work by Mark Ellis. Mark Coleman has no hurling. Trying to get away. John Conlon surely was pulling him back. Peter Duggan is in there. They have the possession. Trying to knock it forward. Aaron Cunningham. Clare going forward as much as possible. Here comes Damien Cahalane. There's this club football with Castlehaven. Club hurling with the Bars. And away goes Damien Cahalane at full speed. What a great run. His dad now will be really proud of him. Giving it outside for his Patrick Horgan. A great response by Cork. No, that's character. That's leadership. That is sheer brilliance.
Yeah, Damien Cahalane left Shane O'Donnell and Reedy for pace. I thought I'd never see the day. Unbelievable run for Cahalane. Great pass, great score from Horgan.
3 points again between the teams. Is there an equaliser in this match? Comes McGrath, willing to take on Mark Coleman. Mark Coleman is staying goal side, and there's Conor McGrath takes too many steps with the ball, and that is a free out for Cork. Good defending again by Mark Coleman.
Fantastic. We've really said how great Mark Coleman was going forward, but look at him, never stops his feet moving, always sheltering, always keeping the attacker outside. If he planted his feet there at any stage, Marty, that would have been a free in. Fantastic defending for the young man.
Cork fans believing. waiting, hoping. They've about a minute and a half to go. Are Cork about to win their 53rd Munster title? Conor Lehane goes forward. Conor Cleary stays with him. Cleary regains the possession, gives it back. Whereas Cian Dillon. Back fires Cleary. Keeping it along the sideline for David Reedy. Slips and falls. And once again, it's Luke Farrell giving it back. Cork maintain their composure. It's Alan Cadigan floating this in and floating it over the bar. Judged perfectly. It literally landed on top of the net. Andrew Fye's hurley couldn't reach it. Sheer, utter class, Alan Cadigan.
He needed a cool head. He stepped up. A great score. Cork 2 scores.
Surely that is the assurance point. Ball comes down to Seamus Harnedy. Slither not crossing the line. Fitzgerald putting in the challenge. Plenty of support. Clock is ticking towards 72 minutes and 30 seconds. Cork holding on with a 4-point advantage, surely. Alan Cadigan's point, the assurance one. Surely Conor Lehane was fouled by Conor Cleary, and that is a free for Cork. And surely now, Cork are going to win this Munster title.
Certainly, Marty, and what better way maybe to put the final nail in the Clare coffin than that piece of skill from Conor Lehane. He felt the defender coming behind him, just let it slip through his legs, rolled him, you know, and that's been the bit of flair, I suppose, we expect from Cork hurling. You know, it's back now with abundance. They look like they're heading into an All-Ireland semi-final, and very much well deserved. The roar from the Cork supporters is, you know, you can see it there, is fantastic.
Here in Kingston, checking with Barry Kelly how much time is left. He's looking at his watch as I look down at him here. The dream is about to be fulfilled for a team that were rank outsiders at the beginning of the Munster Championship. Here in Kingston, The Rock, so many others are involved with this Cork management team. Pat Ryan and John Myler, who's given so much to Cork, all of them over the years. There's an opportunity here for David Reedy. Pulls the trigger, blocked the first time, comes across and Anthony Nash deflects it out for a 65. Nothing given, nothing taken. Look at Anthony Nash. Dancing a jig, the Kanturk man, and rightly so.
Yeah, good save down low at his near post. That'll tell you how much it means to these Cork guys, you know. But also, Marty, I suppose at this stage with the Cork's mentors and lined up on the sideline to come in there, Clare have also offered a huge push today. They'll probably have a few regrets that they didn't really go for it and push all their bigger guns forward. But I must say, all credit to Cork, and that man in your screen there, Anthony Nash, has certainly been a huge part of Cork's Munster Championship campaign.
Kieran Kingston watches on, but surely he must realise nothing that Clare can produce now can save the day. The ball is cleared. Clare are beaten. Cork are Munster champions. What an amazing story. Written off by so many. Tipperary, Waterford, Limerick, certainly Clare were all seen as potential Munster champions, particularly Tipperary, if I may say. And along comes this team that finished second in the league. People seem to have forgotten it, but lo and behold, they had character. I saw them in Walsh Park against Waterford, and I certainly said that day that Cork have wonderful hurlers, and they showed it today. Fully deserved Munster champions 2017 on a full-time score of Cork 125, Clare 120. Brendan, fully deserved Munster champions.
Absolutely, and they went about it the hard route, I suppose, beating Tipperary and Waterford and then coming in here against Clare. You know, there's a real resurgence in the Cork hurling. We saw their minors hammer Clare in the final prior to this, you know. Supporters down on the pitch, that's what Munster Championship is all about. Kingston, so with his supporters, getting the congratulations. He's really gone through an awful lot of tough times, there's no doubt about that, but the belief he has in these young players is really borne out today, you know. And congratulations to Cork, they're worthy winners. Just a quick word on Clare, Marty. You know, they really added to a good game here today. They'll have to go back to the drawing board a little bit on how they're going to structure their play to try to get more goal chances, but they're still in with a big shout.
But the strategy today didn't really work, Brendan, for Clare.
No, it didn't. I think they decided that Damien Cahalane was going to be the player that was going to take all the short puck out. Damien Cahalane, Cork might have known that was going to happen. He pinged the ball in front of the Cork full forward line, who absolutely ran wrecked then. And there's not an awful lot that Clare full back line can do. When the ball goes in front of Cadigan and Meade and Harnedy and these boys, they're not going to leave it behind, you know. But Cork again, great resilience. When they conceded that fantastic Conor McGrath goal, what to do? Up the field point. Having gotten 3 wides, I suppose, poor wides, and Clare had put him under the cosh a bit. What happens then? Alan Cadigan decides, yeah, I'm going to be the man to step up. So leaders all round for Cork, and they're well set now in All-Ireland semi-final.
And what about a Munster Championship victory campaign? When they write the history books, Tipperary, Munster and All-Ireland champions beaten. Waterford, All-Ireland semi-finalist 2016 beaten. Clare, one of the favourites, top 4 or 5, also beaten. It's a remarkable journey by Cork. It's a Munster Championship that they will savour. They love their hurling in Cork. From Castletown Bear to Doneraile and Mallow and North Cork, over indeed to Youghal. They'll celebrate this because this was won with character, with skill and with stamina, and by a sheer heart and belief in their own ability.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. We've seen it really with Wexford down, you know, when Davy got in under him, that they really got that passion going. Cork have that fire in the belly now as well. Going into an All-Ireland semi-final, they'll have time now for the next 4 or 5 weeks to let everything settle down. Everyone else will go to war against each other and see who they play. But the style of play that Cork have, the open expanse of Croke Park, is going to be very, very hard to shut down their forwards.
Cork are in the All-Ireland semi-final. They're also the Munster champions. Clare will go into the draw for the quarter-final tomorrow in the company of Tipperary, Waterford and Wexford. Now, who would like to be there? It's going to be very, very interesting. But right now, in Semple Stadium, Thurles, the celebrations and the victory belongs to Cork. Michael.
I do indeed. In the commentary box, Marty Morrissey and Brendan Cummins. Liam Sheedy, you have new champions in Munster, and I suppose a little bit like the football that we saw earlier on, and I was saying this to the football analysts, who would have guessed last April that you'd have this situation?
Yeah, it's phenomenal turnaround in Cork hurling, you know, to see the way their minors expressed themselves in the first match today, and to see the way their seniors gone about their business again today. I suppose, again, you know, on a Munster final day, you're looking for someone to do something special. And to me, Cork had 2 players today that every time they got on the ball, they were looking to do something special. I thought Alan Cadigan up front was just a joy to watch. You know, he scored 1-4 on the biggest day in Munster hurling. And as I said, he was just buzzing around all day. He won numerous frees as well. He was a real pain in that Clare defence. And likewise, I'll go back to that guy, Mark Coleman. I thought he's just shown an experience beyond his year. To me, he's been the best player in Munster this year. I think for a chap to see where he's at, it's just phenomenal. And you know, I think the sideline ball that he took when the chance was on, he took his point. When the right ball to go in was to put the ball in front of forward, and he done that. And again, you know, I think to see, you know, I know Gary Keegan's involved in the back. I just think Cork have a belief about them this year. You know, at 55 minutes, it was 116 to 114. It looked like Clare were coming back into the game, but they just stepped on the gas again and they pushed on. And you know, they had a few misses. They probably should have won by more. It was a bit tighter maybe than it should have been. But overall, worthy champions. Just a word on Clare. I think when they look back in it, they'll be disappointed because to me, their strategy for Cork's puckouts today was lunacy.
Yeah.
I just cannot get over why you would allow Donald Hughes like ping a ball 30-40 yards and let Damien Cahalane fire a ball in front of their inside forward line. I think they paid a heavy price for that, and I was very surprised to see that because they fought hard, but to me, their puck-out strategy and their wides were madness.
Or even let Anthony Ashe have a puck over two.
Yeah.
Sir, one of my favourite moments in that entire game was at the final whistle. There were 2 stewards down here beside us, stoically manning a gate as 10,000 people ran onto the field behind them. And great scenes that we see there. Now, I know they don't allow this, Cyril, in Croke Park, and fair enough. But doesn't that look fantastic?
Yeah, well, like the thing is, like you get someone like Cork coming back to win. You know, like they're going to express their emotions. Like the whole town is full of Cork. Like the outnumbered, let's say Clare 2 or 3-1, and why wouldn't it? It does no harm. Look, there's never any trouble between supporters really. They express. Look, Clare have to congratulate them. And as Liam was saying there, like when you look back at the Clare game, they played very defensively. Colin Galvin played back a sweeper. Cork Nash did what he liked to puck outs, mainly short, and that meant then that Cavan could go over the sweeper back into the full forward line, which were very good. Horgan, Meade, Cadigan, all the Cork forwards, great movement, getting onto kind of lovely ball out in front and scoring great scores. When Clare went at in the second half, they had to go at them. Tony Kelly's come back into himself. They all shoot forward. John Callan got through with kind of 1 or 2 great points, laid off a great ball for Conor McGrath, a great goal, but it never looked like that they were winning, because Cork, when they get a few points up, they're up 5 at half time and they went up 6, 7, 8 and they came back to 5. They were always holding it and quite comfortable because they knew they were going to win the puck outs. That was the big thing. If Clare moved up, you wouldn't know what had happened. Clare will have to kind of reorganise themselves for the quarter final, but they'll still win. But Cork will be very happy this evening because they're on a roll, and like, you know, even the minor team, lovely team, beautiful team. And I was thinking, looking at the minor team today, Kingston at 3 or 4 years was a great minor, but broke his arm and then he was gone for the championship. Beginning to come into fruition on them. You'll be very happy for Kieran Kingston because he went through a tough time in Cork.
They will do all of that, but a quick word, Henry, about Clare, because, I mean, in fairness to them, they can look at this game here today and say to themselves, OK, we lost and we're disappointed, but we see where we can improve.
Yeah, I think so. We said at half-time they didn't perform very well in the first half. I think there was a period of 20 minutes in the second half where they did push on and they did really go for it. They obviously got a great goal. It was the one time where they went to the heart of the Cork defence and took it on. So from there, but as Liam has said, they responded very quickly, Cork. But otherwise, Clare will be happy enough.
Henry, we're going to hear from the Clare co-manager.
Yes, Donald Maloney is here with me. Donald, your reaction, massive disappointment for you and for the players.
Yes, a huge disappointment, and I thought that, but having said that, I thought the players went down fighting. We probably left a lot of opportunities on the table out there. You hit the crossbar and hit the upright, and probably some of the shots that we would probably expect to sail over in other days, they went wide for us today. But having said that, every time we got close and a sign of a good team, you know, Cork managed to edge that couple of points to get ahead again, right? So full credit to them. You know, they bring. There was some atmosphere out there today. It was incredible, and fair play to them. Congratulations to Cork in terms of their victory.
But the biggest regret for you, is it the wides? Is it some other facet of the way that the game developed?
Yeah, well, the wides was probably an issue, but and then, you know, those ones that to hit the woodwork twice, like, you know, we needed all those things to happen today, right, for us, and unfortunately they didn't. Cork on the other end, they got one really good goal chance and they took it, right. So that's probably the only area every player gave their all, right, and we couldn't be more proud of them, right, in terms of what they did, because they really emptied themselves out there today. And, you know, some of our boys would probably be in the running for man of the match as well today, right. So we're very proud of them, and we would hope that we will be intent to have a big say in this All-Ireland yet.
Absolutely. Donald, thanks very much indeed. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Yeah, proud of them, and rightly so. Time for us to take another break here on the Sunday game. More on today's Munster hurling final straight after that, the presentation of the Cup.
Littlewoods Ireland, proud sponsor of the GAA Hurling Championship.
Christy Dignam is an Irish music legend, and this is his story.
You know, I'm still out there trying to prove myself, but who am I trying to prove it to?
You want faster?
Passes are for girls.
This is Christy, Tuesday at 9:35 on RT1.
Get your teeth into mobile with added oomph from Virgin Mobile.
My name is François Colucci. I've been living in Ireland for the last 10 years now. Water sport in Mayo, it's definitely the destination in Ireland to come. For me, it's the best place in the world. There is this enthusiasm, this way of life and philosophy. It's magical, actually. There are things you can explain and things that you can only witness, and I think that Mayo is one of these.
Our Spar range is growing every day, as good as the best for less. Like new Spar Deli Style Meats range, any 2 for €4. Spar Select Crisps range 150 gram, any 2 for €3. And selected Spar Cookies range 150 gram, only €1 each. Wherever you see the tree.
Sometimes I think, gosh, how did I do it? Buying the house at the time seemed against all the odds.
So I came back to Ireland from France, having separated from my husband with my 2 girls, 5 and 1 at the time. The one thing that I really wanted to have for them was a place that they could call their own and a roof over their head. I could tell a story about every room in the house. It was the home that I really wanted for Clare and Miriam. If the sun is shining, you'll find me in the garden doing my ironing. Because, yeah, the sun is shining, so let's be out there. So that's me. It's been a long journey, but it's been a wonderful one. It just seems surreal. I'll actually own my home. And now it'll be like freedom.
Literally thousands of prizes are hot-footing into McDonald's because Monopoly Prize Mania is back with a 1 in 5 chance of winning instantly. There's everything from Big Macs and big trips to Universal Orlando Resort to €10,000 in actual, real money. What? Monopoly Prize Mania at McDonald's. Thousands of prizes and then some. You could be next.
Centra. We are hurling.
Cork are the Munster hurling champions for 2017 after their impressive 5-point victory over Clare here at Semple Stadium. The cup has only been presented. Hasn't even been presented yet. Liam Sheedy, give it back to them. Come on.
He didn't want
we
to
got
give
it
it
for
back.
2 years. We thought we might get it for 3, but anyway, such is life.
Sheedy was hiding in the booth.
Well, you know, and they've come in the hard way. You know, I mean, quarter-final semi, that's a long road, you know, and in fairness to them, I think each time, but like defensively, you know, Henry came to it before the match, like Colin Spillane, a guy that's just come into the team, he's just playing well beyond his years again. I mean, just the whole unit, and even to see Kieran Kingston talking to them over there under the stand, they look very level. They'll bring a big crowd to Croker. I mean, they're now 2 steps away from All Ireland, whereas, you know, we were only talking about Henry, they were miles away 2 years ago.
You were talking to Donal O'Cusick about this on the Sunday game a while ago.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, myself and Donal O'Cusick have a bit of a bargee on it, and he was saying, where is Cork hurling at? He showed me all the stats of minor and under 21 and senior. But the thing about it is, that at that stage, they were winning under 14, under 15, under 16 competitions. Colin Spillane, Mark Coleman, Dara Fitzgibbon, Shane Kingston, Luke Meade, they were all playing and winning at that stage. They were all 19, 20 years of age. So I think the answer is today, they were coming. Cork are never down that long. We've seen it today. And I think as well, I have to make compliments to the management team. Kieran Kingston, he's got Dermot O'Sullivan, The Rock, Pat Hartnett, Pat Ryan and John Myler. And each and every one of those people are good Cork hurling men. And I think what it shows is that, as Liam has said, they were all in a circle together. They bring unity, they bring togetherness, they have that closeness. That all went when the strikes came out of Cork. That divide went between some of the supporters and the team. All you can see now, you can look at it on the field, everyone is together driving Cork hurling forward, and that's what we've seen today, winning the minor and senior.
The Tip lads have given back the cup.
Like Michael, on Henry's point, I met Pat Hartnett yesterday, the match here, Saturday night, and he could tell me the matchups that Clare were going to. They had the homework done. He knew that the Clare lads were going to pick up the Cork lads, and said, well, their homework done, whether it's good enough or not. Like, you know, so it just shows like they are thinking ahead and they know what they're at.
Oh, great scenes, obviously, here at Semple Stadium in Thurles as Cork celebrate a brilliant victory over Clare in the Munster final. Time to fold the tent for this evening here on the Sunday game, on a day when Roscommon were crowned football champions in Connacht, and here at Semple Stadium, Cork have claimed their 53rd Munster hurling title. From Henry, from Liam, from Cyril, and of course myself. Until the next time, bye-bye.
I remember t-shirt weather. I remember
Bord Gosh energy, hurling to the core.
It's miserable back home.
Woohoo! Yes. Our weather's not super, but that's okay. Our milk is.
Good evening and welcome to your ISL weather forecast. An Atlantic airflow will dominate once again through the week ahead, and while there will be some weather fronts occasionally moving in, rainfall amounts should come in below normal with temperatures around average too. Now there'll be a slack pressure gradient tomorrow Monday, so rather calm, but some patchy rain and drizzle about, most of it occurring in the late evening linked to this weather front to the southwest. Now Tuesday feeling quite cool up along the east coast with onshore breezes as well as the risk of some drizzly rain. However, further west it looks fully dry and bright and rather warm. Temperatures typically in the high teens. Wednesday looks promising as a ridge of high pressure moves in, allowing for some warm sunshine with temperatures hitting the low 20s. Thursday though feeling somewhat fresher as a weather front bears down from the northwest. Amounts of rain look minimal though, especially across the south and east, where the temperatures will also be at their highest. Another ridge of high pressure in turn for Friday, with dry, bright and rather warm conditions countrywide. But